Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello, everyone.
What up, everybody? It's good to see you guys. We're a little early here. We are a little early. I figured to get in here, say hello, say goodbye. Let me just get all that set up. It's good to see everybody, though. Happy Friday, Morgan, to everybody. Any moment we should be starting here. As you can see, they haven't started. Still music time. I'm going to keep it muted because, again, I already got a copyright strike from these ding-dongs for some Russian music. So we'll leave it on. We'll leave it like that. But it's good to see everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a good start to your weekend. And, yeah, man. Got the bong all cleaned up. Let's get that sucker packed up. Let's get number one going. And hey, I have to say thanks again so much to Lonnie for another awesome shirt. Look at this shirt she got me, guys. I love it, man. Thank you. Lonnie's got me 3 awesome fucking shirts. I love it, right? What the fuck you looking at? Yeah, Big Mac, I don't fucking know, man, but I can show it to you. You want to let me know, I'll screenshot and send it to you. I ain't no lie about nothing when it comes to this channel like that, man. You got to remember, man, they look at me look, let me tell you something. There's news stations. I'm not going to mention which ones. Okay? And they watch every single show. And anytime we use anything of their shit, they tag the show and they take the rights to it. Because we've used their video. Yeah. Okay? And it's all manual review. It's not an automatic review. It's a manual, meaning somebody from there is manually watching the show and tagging them, taking the rights to them all. So yeah, man, because apparently that you know, these $1 trillion companies almost they need more money. They need the $26 I might make. Okay. And again, who's to say the 26 came for the chase? El Nino returns? We'll see. Stinks is in here. Good morning. What's up, Yessie? What's up, Drake? What's up, Jalen? I mean, it is what it is. You know, you got to deal with it. And, you know, look, I'm somebody that, like I said, I'm a thorn in their side to everybody, apparently. I don't know why. But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Well, I'm ready, man. I'm ready, Salvador. I'm fucking ready. These jokers aren't. These jokers aren't. Yeah, Turtle. I love it. Lonnie has got me a few good ones already, man. All stinky shirts. Stinks shirts. I'm ready, Sean. These suckers ain't ready. They in the back smoking a joint. They're back there smoking a... Passing that fucking last little roach around. Then it's gonna get sucked into somebody's mouth. Oh, shit. Remember those days when fools would hit the roaches that tiny and then they just suck it up into their... I love it. Thank you so much. Lonnie, all the shirts you got are awesome. This one, I don't know which one's my favorite. Is this one or the other one with the stalker? Probably the two faves. Not that I don't like the other one with the balloons. I like that one too. But the stalker one, I've already got a couple compliments. Where'd you get that? I was like, man, it was a gift. Did they make it? You know what's funny is how many people love tuxedo cats. Like, tuxedo cats, I don't know, something about them, man. People just love tuxedo cats. What's up, Bipolar? How are you? What's up, BJ? Oh, you know it is, BJ. You know it is. No, I've been up early this morning. I was up at 7 a.m. I had to, I was up at 5:30 to feed not myself. And then at 7 a.m. I had a conference call for the guys that, I use software to list cards on eBay faster. And I had a problem with I had an issue with one of them. I was trying to figure out how to do it, and they're actually trying to fix the issue themselves with a new update coming here soon. So didn't really, find out too much other than that. But yeah, man, all about those listing tools. Tuxedo cats are the smartest. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
And
morning.
welcome
Good
to your Los Angeles
morning.
City Council
Good
meeting
morning.
for Friday, June the
Love
9th,
you.
2023.
Good morning.
I'm Curran Price, President Pro Tem, and it's my honor to welcome you today.
Hi,
We're
Tara.
going to be taking public comment both in person, in chambers, and also on the phones.
There are a lot of
And
people I didn't
so,
see. I was busy clicking
Please
stuff.
be prepared for that.
Well, it looks
Madam
pretty
Clerk,
bad.
would you please call the roll?
You're right.
Yes, sir.
But the whole front row, these are all people that are getting honored.
Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian,
So these people don't
Lee,
count.
Oscar, Hart, Price, Ryan, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky.
Although there are
all
3
members
LAPD
present
officers,
appointed-
4 already in the
Thank you,
chambers,
Madam
so
Clerk. First order of business.
maybe Mr.
Approval
Herman's
of the
there.
minutes of June 7, 2023.
My girlfriend's
Councilmember
back.
Rodriguez moves and Councilmember Harris
My
Dawson
lady
seconds.
is back,
Next,
looking sexy in the
Mandatory
dress,
resolutions
in
for
the face
approval.
diaper.
Councilmember Robin moves and Councilmember Yaroslavsky seconds.
Got her
Next.
bangs cut all nice,
Mr.
dyed.
President, shall I run through the agenda, sir?
Yes.
Is it
Madam
me
Clerk,
or the
run through
bangs a
agenda.
different color than the
Items
back?
1 through 21 are items which public hearings have been held.
Are the
Committee
bangs a
reports
different
for
color than the
items
back?
14 through 21 have been submitted and are posted online under their respective council files. Item 22 through
They do her with the
27 are items
burgundy-
which
the
public
burgundy
hearings
bangs
have not been held.
And the black
10
back?
votes are required for consideration. sir.
Great. Without objection, those items are now before us. Do any
Her
members
breath
have
must
any
be
items they'd like
awful.
to call special?
She likes the
today?
smell of it. No, I'm talking about like the side here, the
Yes,
side
Councilman.
color, not
Mr. President,
if you
I'd like
saw a
to
bald
call,
spot or not.
item number 10
Talking about
special.
the
I'd like to
color
vote off
back
the
here
agenda.
versus the color up here.
Note and file
That's
this
it.
item as the bill has
I wasn't
expired.
making any crack on her.
Well,
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. McCosker.
Scalp.
Since that is an
You know what it is?
amendment,
It's just it's this
is there a
lighting. That's what
second
it
to
is.
this
Because when she
amendment?
turns, it looks the same color. It's the same color.
Oh,
It's the lighting.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Lighting
is
don't
that
do her
okay?
any
Thank you.
justice. Ain't making her look pretty, Billy.
Any other items, members?
Well,
Okay,
where's
we're now
Paul
able to vote on
Krikorian, man?
I'm sorry.
didn't-
Mr. Soto Martinez.
Slept in?
Good morning, everyone.
Guess so.
Uh,
Hi,
for
guys.
Item 13, we have 2 reports that are there. I would like to move the report coming out of public safety and also make some comments on that item.
Okay, without objection, that will be the order.
For that motion, is there a seconder for, Ms. Rodriguez? Thank you.
Okay, members.
Probably
any
not, Donna.
Other, Mrs. Hernandez.
Council President, I'd like to call item 13 for comments, please.
13 for comments.
13 for comments.
Mr. President Krikorian.
Caller?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, there he is.
Members, I'd like to
There he
move
is.
for reconsideration of item
Lazy
number
man.
17A from the council meeting of June 7th, the extension of the emergency declaration for purposes of a technical amendment.
Okay, without objection.
Okay, so
So why don't we reconsider, and just for the record, it's Council File 221545.
Pinstriping it
Why
again,
don't
too.
we vote for reconsideration, and if it comes
Oh,
before us,
that's
I
not
can
what
read in
I
the
wanted that
proposed
one.
amendment.
Okay.
That.
Any other items, members?
There we go.
Great. Madam Clerk, which items can we vote on?
Yes, Mr. President.
What's up, Calamity Girl? Hoo-doo.
Pardon?
Open the roll, sir.
Yes, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Let's see.
12
Let's
ayes.
scan the crowd.
Okay, those items pass.
Okay, and Mr. President, I have the
Don't see any
proposed
of the
amendment in front of me,
uses.
so if I may, I'll read it into
Please.
the record.
Thank you.
So it provides, I move that council amend the resolution relative to the declaration of local emergency by the mayor dated December 12, 2022.
I don't think that
concerning
tie matches.
homelessness in the city of Los Angeles pursuant to the provisions of the Los Angeles Administrative Code,
Silver and
Section
green
8.27.
with blue.
And this is Council File 22-1545 as follows. So it will be replacing recommendation 3 with the following. And the new language would be, although the emergency declaration pursuant to its original terms
Clip-on
was
tie.
to terminate on June 12, 2023, the council directs that the emergency declaration shall terminate on July 9, 2023.
Oh, he's definitely that, Terry.
Okay, that
Without
item
a
is now
doubt.
before us.
Yes, and we should take public comment on that. So
She
after
said he's
we're
a
done with
little
public
sissy.
comment, council can vote on the matter.
Okay, fine. Any other items at this time? Madam Clerk? Any items we can vote on at this time?
That was too funny. No, Joe, they stole my
Yes,
button
sir. Council may now vote on
because the show's
items
harmful, they've deemed.
1 through 9,
But if you chose
11, 12.
right there on that link tree, you can click in the chat that I just put in. Click the link tree right there. There is 3 ways to donate that way: PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo.
1.
Appreciate you, Joe.
And if I may, Mr. President,
We have item 16 for an amendment.
yes, and I just received the amendment. So,
Well, I'm not in timeout. I mean, Monica, they actually already gave me the thing saying I can reapply, but why do I want to make them rich? Why do I want to give away 26% more to them for what? If people would just give it the other way, like I'm saying, I would make 27% more on every dollar. So I'm just lighting 27 cents to every dollar you give. That's a lot. But some of you guys give a whole lot, not just $1 sometimes. You know what I mean? Every dollar counts, but you understand what I mean? It's a lot of money they're getting. It's how these guys build those dick rockets and things like that for themselves.
dated June 8th, 2023, attached to the council
Tylene!
file, presented by you, Mr. Price, and I believe it's,
Tylene Warner, thank you so much,
Senator
Tylene!
Martinez is the second.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. It
Okay, thank
folds.
you.
I like to
Any
see you
other-
wiggle wiggle. For sure.
Oh, yeah, that's how Bezos
Any other
does it.
items?
And let me tell you something. You can go on YouTube. You can type in on YouTube, Twitch struggling on YouTube, and see how many videos come up. Twitch is struggling. They're begging people not to leave and go to Kick because they've killed everybody with the goddamn commercials. And then when they took a 50% cut instead of a 30% cut for nothing, I build those dick rockets for him.
5.
And so does everybody
Mr.
else,
President,
just like
there
me.
is a request
We build those
to
dick
send
rockets for
items
him.
4, 15, 17,
Curtis
18,
Nelson. Thank you, Curtis
and
Nelson.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like to see you
That
wiggle
will be the
wiggle.
order.
For sure.
And that's all I'm saying, man. I'm not telling you to give. I'm
Okay,
just
before
saying
we go
if you
to,
do,
public comment, we've got
works
a
out way better that
special
way. For me, not to
presentation.
mention, I don't got to wait a month to get the money. I got to wait a month and they take half or 30%. This way, they take 3% and I get it right now. Big difference. Big difference. Mucho diferente. Ooh, somebody's yelling.
Please.
Who's yelling?
Please listen. If you
Oh,
if you
KDL's
cannot-
coming up to talk. That's why.
If you won't maintain yourself, you're gonna have to leave.
They're already mad because the racist is coming to talk. There's zoot suiters in the front. Look at the zoot suiters. Didn't even notice them. Fucking zoot suiters. That's so cool.
You guys can come out if you like. Come around this way. Yes.
Look at him. Look at him. Look, he's getting up right there. Look at the zoot suiter. Fuck yeah. Didn't even notice a few of them there. There's quite a few. Seeing that and they're angry because KDL's the one speaking for them. The racist who talks shit about him. When you sympathize with your oppressor. Stockholm Syndrome. Oh, Yessie, let's
Good
go.
morning, colleagues. We want to yes.
Thanks, Yessie.
Today we join to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the Zoot Suit riots, an event
you, Ian.
forever etched in the history of our nation and emblematic of the struggles faced by the Latino community in the United States. I'm joined by some historic figures in their own right. Miguel Vera Lopez, the chair of the Chicano Moratorium Committee.
Well, I mean, some of them are.
Pachuco Manny Alvarez, an avid car enthusiast and historian.
Look at the little kid.
Keeping the history alive.
little
as we
fedora.
know
Look
it
at him.
today. And as you can see behind me, community members,
I got
some
him
whose
zoot
parents
suited
and
up.
grandparents were victim of that violence.
Yeah, there was
It should
Zoot Suit
not
riots,
go
Betty.
noticed that we are joined in the
They were fighting the sailors.
same chamber where eight decades ago, the LA City Council convened the outlaw of the wearing of zoot suits. Compañeras y compañeros, amigos y amigas, hoy nos unimos para conmemorar el 80 aniversario de los disturbios de los zoot suit, un evento grabado por siempre para de la historia de nuestra nación y emblemático de las
Lee
luchas
Benson.
enfrentadas por
Thank you
la
so
buena
much, Lee
vida
Benson.
en nuestro
You
gran
rock.
país, los Estados Unidos. But today we gather to honor the resilience of previous generations that endured violence and to formally apologize for the sanctioned brutality that targeted not just Mexican Americans, but also African Americans
I
and
like his
Filipinos
pocket square.
and others.
It's not a
80
square,
years
but I
ago.
like that. That's cool.
We can't turn a blind eye to the reality of our past because even today there are leaders across our nation who want to hide the shame of the past and erase that history. To that, we say absolutely not. Today is our day of reckoning with this history and to talk about what took place
I don't
during
have
the
one,
Zoot
Big
Suit
Mac.
riots.
Be cool to have
First,
one.
let me just mention something
I
about
like the pinstripe
Zoot
guy
Suit
back
itself.
there. I like
Now,
that.
originating from African Americans back in Harlem during the 1930s, the Zoot Suit stood as a defiant symbol of self-expression and resistance for black and brown communities, challenging societal norms and reclaiming their identity through fashion. With each exaggerated silhouette and daring style choice, the wearers of Zoot Suits boldly proclaim their right to exist, to be seen.
There's Andrew
and
and
to
the
be
Fist
proud
guy. I
of
see
their
them two
cultural
back there,
heritage.
guys.
In the face of discrimination and oppression, the Zoot Suit became a stylistic act of defiance, an unapologetic statement
Her
that
hair
our
is
lives
awesome. Look at her
matter
hair.
and that their voices should not be silenced. The violence, colleagues, started back on June 3rd, 1943.
Oh, that's
when
cool,
a group
Karen.
of U.S. sailors
Should get
encountered
a-
young Mexican Americans
like a helmet
wearing Zoot
holder and
suits
put it
just
in
right
there.
outside City Hall,
You know?
on Main Street,
Like
here
you-
in downtown L.A.
That would probably be big
It
enough
quickly
to
escalated
encase
to the
it.
streets of brutal attacks against the Mexican American community. In the several days that followed, U.S. soldiers organized and targeted not only Zoot Suiters, but they took their violence into Mexican American neighborhoods, including mine, Boyle Heights, and they viciously beat people indiscriminately. Now, let me just emphasize this one more time. You had U.S.
See, fights with
military
servicemen.
personnel
See?
that conducted
sailors.
violent attacks against American citizens, even while 500,000 Latinos were fighting in the Pacific and
Oh, you having
European
his hat,
theaters
Bob?
during World War II.
Yeah, but you can't see it. You know what I'm saying is if you get like one of the, you know, a legitimate Rydell helmet cube, you can see it. You can put it in there and look at it and put it up on the shelf.
Rodriguez
Be kind of
or
cool.
Eunice Hernandez.
Instead of
looking
just putting it in
like
the box,
us
you know what I mean?
Back in that day. And in fact, as I mentioned a few moments ago, even African Americans and Filipinos who wore Zoot Suits themselves back
Tamara,
in the day
thank you
were
so
dragged
much.
off streetcars and beaten in this
Tamara
hysteria
Hampton, I
just a
appreciate
blocks
ya.
from here
My money
down on
don't
Broadway.
jiggle. It
The
falls
flames
till I
of this
see you wiggle,
anti-Latino
wiggle.
sentiment were fanned
Thank you, Tamara.
back in the day by yellow journalism, regularly on display in newspapers, especially the Los Angeles Times back in the day. The LA Times even characterized then First Lady of the White House, of FDR, Eleanor Roosevelt.
Hey, they're pretty
as,
cheap,
quote,
too. They're like
having
40 bucks.
communist leanings,
Not
end
expensive.
quote, and
Should
quote,
fit in
stirring
there,
race
too.
discord for challenging the beatings and the discrimination faced against Mexican Americans. For 80 years,
See, what I would do is I'd put it in there and maybe a couple cool pictures of him, you know, leaning against the hat and then put it on the shelf. That way you guys can see it. It's really cool little, you know, instead of just having it in a box in a closet where nobody sees it. You know what I mean? Be kind of cool. Or bring it out on special occasions.
I introduced this resolution so that the city of LA could finally take responsibility and apologize for its role effectively sanctioning the violence perpetuated 8 decades ago to commemorate this week as Zoot Suit Heritage Week in Los Angeles.
Zoot Suit
We
Week?
cannot turn back the hands of time and undo the horrors that were committed, but we can heal and we can move forward together.
I don't have one, Hoosier.
And we can pay tribute to the
Gotta buy
Mexican
one
American
now?
youth who faced prejudice, violence, and discrimination during those dark days. We can shine a light on how their resilience and courage paved the way for the civil rights advancement that we struggle and enjoy today. Now, I would just want to underscore this one more time. You had young boys as young as 12 years of age, 13 years, that were violently beaten. They were stripped of their clothes. In fact, some of them were even urinated in public. Acts that exposed this deep-seated racism that targeted Latinos. And just as disgraceful back in the day were the actions of our police department, the LAPD back then, and the city council, this very chamber that we're sitting in today, that we're standing in today. We had the politicians who baited this to go on and to target the youth of Latinos, African Americans, and Filipinos.
Yeah,
to strip
look at
them
this
of the
fedora.
right to define their own identity. The Zoot Suit riots serve as a stark reminder of the racial injustice that continues to persist in our society, explicitly seeing Latinos as less than other people, expecting an entire group to accept a place of marginalization and second-class citizenship.
That's
Even
on the
today,
6th
we
Street
hear and
Bridge,
feel
the
echoes
$550
of
million
this injustice
bridge.
that targets Latinos that targeted Latinos back in 1943. We saw it in the form of Proposition 187.
That's cool. Look at that, guys.
The paper of record today endorsed back in 1994. We watched children separated from their families and caged like animals just a few years ago. We saw essential workers being the last in line to get vaccinations during the pandemic. Yes, in a city and county that's majority Democrats, including at the local, state, and federal level. They were still the last in line to get those vaccinations. We see it with ICE raids on working people, and we see it when street vendors are attacked incessantly every day. And we watched it for more than 4 decades, our Congress's inability to pass immigration reform, even when we've had the majority.
And just to let you know, Obama, deported more than any of the last 3 presidents. 1 before him and the 2 after.
The Zoot Suit riots were born
What was
out of
Obama?
division and hostility.
Is he a Republican?
But together. And
Oh, that's right.
only
He was a
together,
Republican. My
we can
bad.
build a society where every individual, regardless of their background, can be respected, thrive, and contribute to the rich tapestry, the beautiful mosaic of so many different ethnicities, so many different hues, so many different origins.
Story
that
told
makes
by
up
the
beautiful
storyteller.
mosaic of the city
There
of
goes,
LA,
where
our
is he?
great
There he is
city.
back there in the green
I am
shirt. Look
proud
at
to
him.
be here with these
See him walking around? Here he
incredible
comes.
Men and women, and this young boy, this young Zoot Suiter, the future of LA. Now, colleagues, it is
And they
my
also
honor
built the
to
cages.
be the
Yes, they
chair
did.
of the
Those
Chicano
evil cages.
Moratorium Committee, Miguel Vera Lopez, and to give you some context, the Chicano Moratorium Committee
They've
is an
changed.
organization dedicated to educating people about the Chicano Moratorium of August 29th back in 1970 and the conditions and the events that led up to it, known as the Chicano Civil Rights Movement. Let's bring up Miguel Lopez. Miguel Lopez, come on out.
I'm as old as Miguel. Come on.
Good morning, everybody. The city of LA, all the folks from this city. Greetings
Looks like me.
to the members of this council.
Looks like
My name is Miguel Vigil Lopez. I represent the 50th
My brother.
Chicano Moratorium Committee in Los Angeles. And it is a pleasure to be here today in support of the effort to address LA history and action in commemorating 80 years since the Zoot Suit riots. We represent the generation that has established a voice since the 1960s and 70s to resist, educate, and act on the many wrongs of the past
Fucking lobster.
with action for the future generations. Our mission to commemorate August 29, 1970 and the Chicano Civil Rights Movement annually through education and action brings us here today. We are personally connected to the
I see
history,
50 guns
having
back there.
parents that grew up and worked in the downtown LA vicinity, who were the youth of the 1930s and 40s, who experienced the hatred, violence, and indifferences of the LA political machines, and who raised us to see a better day. We are the generation of United Farm Worker volunteers, student walkout leaders, and anti-war moratoriums,
DJ.
immigrant rights fighters,
heard right.
and Chicano civil rights activism. In fact, we continue to struggle today for dignity, respect, and equality in our mission to set the record straight and to demand recognition in the narrative of history
Like
for a
Doppler Gangler.
truthful account of the past in order to educate our past and future generations. For these reasons and many more, we declare our support with
DJ,
a humble
you must be
request
new.
for this council to join us
You must be
in
new.
recognizing the 80th anniversary of the Zoot Suit riots in LA, set the record straight as relates to the harm or damage done to the community in the early 1940s, and make a belated apology for the failure of the past leaders to protect and serve our community. It is the decent thing to do for our next generations. But more importantly, it will codify in the record that the leaders of today and tomorrow will stand for dignity, respect, and tolerance for all. I myself personally am a son of a World War II hero who grew up here down the street, a Zoot Suiter, a professional boxer at 16, and a hero of World War II. My mother lived right off 25th and Maple, one of the few workers who the sweatshops of LA. And I remember my mother distinctly telling me when I was a kid how angry and upset she was watching young Mexican kids running down the street naked from having their suit ripped off. So I am the generation to send this message to my grandkids and my great-grandkids. And for me, the struggle continues to educate and to bring this forward. And I really appreciate the fact that at the local, county, state levels, and hopefully soon at the federal level, that these recognitions will play a most important role in setting the record so our children and grandchildren will know the truth of what truly happened. So I thank you for the opportunity and time to address this leadership body today, and struggle always, the 50th Chicano Moratorium Committee of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I don't see either Sachs or Mr. Herman or Harlan. That doesn't mean they're not there.
Gracias, Miguel, and may the memory of your incredible brother from Hermandad Mexicana Nacional, Nativo Lopez, remains with us forever in our hearts. And as we all may know and not know, the Chicano Moratorium Committee continues to fight for
I know
peace,
you're lost because you're
liberation,
new, man.
and education
Just
about
sit back,
this
man.
iconic event.
Stop
with the
wondering
understanding
and
that we
relax.
will move beyond the limitations
You'll figure it
of the
out
past.
soon enough.
Now, it is my honor to introduce a man who has dedicated his life to preserving the history, the culture, and the traditions of the Pachuco, who dare to challenge societal norms, create their own identity, and embrace their cultural heritage. Pachuco Manny, also known as Manny Alvarez, is a community leader in the hot rod and lowrider community, organizing cruising events across the Southland and other parts of California as a venue to teach a generation about the recent history of Latinos.
You mean the
in
Democrat
California.
Party? Do I big
No.
up them? No,
Pachuco
I don't.
Manny is here today with
DJ,
a dance troupe
not
to
one bit.
transcend us back to 80
They're
years ago
racist,
so we
hateful
can get
people,
a-
and no, I
a
do
little
not big
taste,
up
un
them.
poco del
If that's what
sabor
you're asking,
of
DJ.
how
No.
the emerging Latino culture was celebrated back in Los Angeles. But before we get there, let me bring
Okay,
up to
enough.
our microphone.
Again,
Pachuco
like I
Manny.
told you.
Pachuco Manny.
Sit back. Relax, kid. Slow down, Turbo.
Good morning, City Council. Pachuco Manny Alcaraz. And
Speechless for a guy who's blowing up
thank
my
you,
chat
City
room. You ain't too
Council, and
fucking
it's an honor to
speechless.
be here. I didn't think this would ever happen. I'm glad to see it happen. And
I have maybe a few up, Alex. Most of them sold already.
Doing car
The other
events
ones I
in
have
honor
are
of the
getting
Zoot
graded.
Suit riots. And Miguel said it all. Young boys at 12, 13 years old were stripped of their clothes. And I want the younger
See the
generation
chat room there, DJ? Read
to
the
be
chat room
aware
now.
of what happened. I talked to a lot of younger
I want you to read the
generations.
chat room,
Did
DJ.
you guys know
Look at it.
Cesar Chavez was a Zoot Suiter?
Look at the
had
bots
no
they're telling
idea.
you.
They had no idea.
Those
he
are
was
all
in the
bots.
Navy. Cab Calloway was a Zoot Suiter. Malcolm
You've been
X
wait.
was
You've been watching me for a couple years. You've been watching on mute, then, homie. You've been watching on mute the whole
I just
goddamn
want the
time,
young
bro.
Generation to be aware of what happened.
Or you're the
80
most
years
clueless
ago.
person that
In
walks
fact,
the earth. One of the two.
This week.
Which one is
tonight
it?
was
Is it the latter?
Suzhou riots were ongoing.
Meaning the second?
And this is what I want the younger
Which
generation
one is it? I'm
to know.
clueless right now.
I want him to know about
I'm
what happened. 80 years ago.
what's her name? Alicia
thank you very
Silverstone? No. What was the one in Clueless? I'm her right now. Fuck
Gracias,
today.
Pachuco Man.
I'm
Now,
whoever she was.
we have
Alicia
a performance.
Silverstone, I think.
Ready? Performers? Alrighty. I think right up here.
I was right? Alicia Silverstone. Okay, yeah. I saw her the other day. Well, like on TV. She looks pretty similar to what she used to look like. She hasn't aged too bad. You know, it's funny sometimes you see these young actors who are always, you know, all you saw was like a young shots or young movies of them, and then all of a sudden you see them when they're 50 or something. They look way different, kind of thing. Like fucking Madonna. Fucking Madonna, bro. I swear she landed her spaceship out back last night. I think she crash landed in Las Vegas the other night. I mean, I saw the videotape of it. The cops came, the crash landed in somebody's backyard. I want to say that was Madonna. Said something about an 8-foot tall lady in the backyard looking all crazy with these googly eyes. I'm telling you, it was Madonna if I've ever seen it. Too funny. All right. All right, we're going to get to work now. Probably not. Probably not going to get to work. Well, all right. So we're good. I just want to make sure. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. I know I can't put it up. It's probably copywritten music from the fucking 40s and fucking... You know, Billie Jean Bob's fucking family's gonna come at me with a copyright strike. Dude, homeboy's red hat with the feathers, the fucking shizzy. I want that hat. I want the hat with the giant feather, but I'm gonna go like stupid with it. I want like a 6-foot feather hanging off the hat where it's almost pulling the hat off because the feather's that big. Yeah. I want like a peacock feather hanging off the back of my shit. Be fucking rad as hell. Oh, I can see my shit right now. Zoot Suit Night with the giant ass fucking 7-foot fucking feather hanging off the back of my hat. I can see it. I can see it. Bop to you drop. Yeah, I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I just want to don't want to take the chance. We're gonna get the, you know, as soon as they stop dancing, we'll get the what do you call it back on them, the audio. So, 'tis what it is. I love it. I love it. Where's the little kid? Should have a little kid dancing out there with him. Council pimping. Stray cats, stray cats. I love it. I love it. I love it. But how come Pachuco Manny ain't dancing? He's just too cool for school, eh? Hey, pass the wire, eh? That guy's, that's the guy that be walking the main yard alone, eh? Be passing the wire, making grilled cheese on the bunk. Gonna let you know. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second. We got a quad cam now? Why don't we get the quad cam when we got Mr. Herman and fucking Mr. Harley going crazy out back? Where do we get the quad cam for that when you throwing a motherfucker out the chambers because they're acting up? What's that? What's that? Why don't we get that one? You get jacked all day. You see how they doing us, guys? You see how they doing this? They showing off. They giving it all. It's bullshit. What's up, Cat? It's good to see you. You know, it's fucking, it's crazy how much we get jacked. I see Stacy Segar Bollinger. I see the Fist guy. I see and I see 50 Guns. So we got those 4 legit. Now, do I see any of the others that we really wanted? I don't see any of them now. It doesn't mean they're not on the phone, and it doesn't mean they won't walk into the chambers. Putos! Damn, bro. Relax, that's it. You know how to use a mic?
Now, Mr.
He
President,
busted the mic, eh?
Just one quick commentary from one of the famous Rodriguez family, the Rodriguez brothers. You know, where's my brother over here? Go. Come on out. Come on out.
Okay, he
Look,
told me to
LAPD
make
behind
it quick,
them all.
so I'm gonna make it quick.
You know what? Got to do work. That's all.
You know what? Where I grew up at as a youngster, we used to listen to, well, you know what we call them, the veteranos of the barrio, the veterans of the neighborhood, and some of them were war veterans, World War II veterans. One of them in particular was Mr. Sanchez. He was off in the war, miles away, and as he said, he was out there shooting.
You seen
it up.
him?
You know, using
Sir, he's in
weapons.
there? You seen him?
Not knowing that his family baptismal party got raided right here in Bow Heights, East Los Angeles. Got raided by a bunch. He said by a bunch of white people and sailors.
Fucking white people, eh?
What they didn't realize though is that family was a big
Devil.
family. You know, I mean their relatives.
Where? I don't see him.
Their friends, their
Where do
neighbors.
you guys
they were
see
all
him?
at that party, and they fought back. They fought back. They defended themselves.
Where?
And they ran those people out of the neighborhood. You know, those. So that was one instance.
Where are you
where
guys
racism
seeing 'em?
Was defeated, was combated.
I don't
but
see
we
'em.
all
I
know,
think you guys are
as
tripping.
the previous speakers mentioned, there was a lot of tragedy. You know, he said he couldn't be here with his family because he had a duty. He took an oath.
You had to take a duty?
Service. That same oath is similar to what police officers take.
He's out
same
back taking
oath
a shit.
Is what similar to what other servicemen take. That same oath is what council members here take and office holders take.
I'm shitting
and
my
that
pants,
was,
literally.
That was
Did you hear
dishonored. The uniform of law enforcement was dishonored because police officers, some took part in the beating. Some arrested innocent people and placed them in jail. And then servicemen also violated that oath by taking
I'm a
part
petty
in what they were
pink-faced
doing,
dictator.
like was mentioned by the speakers, attacking Mexican people. Another one of the other veterans speaking there, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, you know. Anyway, he mentioned he got arrested.
The wet
He could
fart
only
drop is the
afford
best one,
coat.
Mayor.
He didn't have the pants. So what they tore off of him was the coat and his shirt. And in jail, he heard, when he was being booked, he heard one of the police officers, yeah, we went on a hunt, we
I
went
agree,
hunting
LR.
Mexicans. And he heard the other officers
Ain't nobody pure
laughing
breed of nothing
when
anymore.
When that police officer mentioned that. You know what, today we have a unique opportunity to correct that. Those of us that have taken the oath. I took that oath when I was a commissioner for community relations. I took that oath when I was a TATA, when I worked for the California State Department of Senate Rules. So that oath is important. That oath was
Mexican
dishonored.
Marlon Brando.
Those uniforms were dishonored.
Kind of does look like
So we have
Marlon
an
Brando.
opportunity. It's
The
great
fucking Godfather.
What the council member De Leon is doing, I wholeheartedly support it, and I encourage every council member to support this resolution, this motion.
All the
this
gangsters were
apology
too
that
cool for
long
school to
been a
dance,
past
eh?
For the kids that were beaten, for the families that are still survivors here to this day, for them to know that there was an apology for the criminal acts that were permitted against our community. Thank you very much for your time.
I didn't say that's what Yassi said. I can't take the credit for the good.
Before I close, I also want to
description.
acknowledge Cristina and Ángela Romero. Es un aplauso, ¿no? Para Cristina Ángela Romero.
Aplauso. Aplauso.
Who helped organize and execute this amazing ceremony, along with my staff, Susana Lopez, Sarah Flaherty, Christopher Antonelli. Who else? Am I
wrap
missing
that
anyone?
shit
I wanna
up,
make sure I
B.
give props to all my staff.
Guys had like 20 minutes right now.
Roberto's, you know, I want to give
Bro,
them
we're
props.
40
It's been
minutes
my
in. We ain't got a
distinct
fucking
privilege to
thing
share
done.
today with you, and I want to thank you for the unanimous support of this resolution. As I said earlier, this resolution will not change what happened 80 years ago, but it is a significant step in a long overdue
Fucking
healing
DA.
process. We should
Good to
always,
see you.
always be striving for healing. Healing is not something that can just be left to time. We must do it together. And
Is that
only
Edward James
together
Almost?
As we move
It's
forward.
Edward
With that,
James
I think we have
Almost?
some resolutions to give.
He's
And then
Edward
we can move
James
forward.
Almost.
And I think we have a couple of folks on the queue.
Yes, sir.
I said we have a couple of speakers on the queue as well.
Okay. How would you like to do it, Mr.
I want you to
President?
take the photo and then
Okay. Yes, sir.
we'll go to Councilman
For the
Rodriguez.
Zoot Suit Heritage Week, I want to thank Mr. President, Mr. Kokorian, as well as Monica Rodriguez.
Monica
Zoot Suit is here today.
Rodriguez.
Que viva!
Monica. I don't see Mr. Herman. I don't know. You guys are smoking some good weed, and y'all need to let me hit a little bit of that. Cause
All right,
I need
Councilman
some of that.
Rodriguez.
I need some for my cataracts.
Thank you, Mr. De Leon, and I want to thank you all for being here with us today.
Oh,
to
there she
commemorate
is.
This terrible.
Oh, she got new
piece of
glasses
city
on.
history, and for continuing the
Ooh.
important role of educating our community and letting people understand that sadly, the attacks on Latinos in this city has not ceased.
It's always
and this
white
is something
people.
that we all must overcome and continue to work on together, whether it's through policy,
Say it, Monica.
whether it's through activism. We have a lot of work to do to make sure that our community, and we watch it
White
with
people like
policies
me.
and legislation that doesn't just
White
come out of
devil.
this city council, but also comes out of, in Florida, we're watching, we watch how this permeates across all legislative bodies. And so I just want to say my deepest gratitude to you for preserving this important history, for continuing to be the storytellers of
White
how
devil.
the community has been wronged. My father, too, he grew up in Cypress Park, served in Vietnam. And so, Mr. Rodriguez, I don't know, not unrelated, Mr. Rodriguez, but good last name, solid last name. I just want to say thank you so much for talking about what it means to honor the oath and the responsibility that is bestowed upon everybody
Diablo
to
Blanco.
recognize and commemorate this important history. It should be signed on by everybody, whether it's in City Hall, whether it's in the County of Los Angeles, or up and down the state of California. We're either going to stand united to say that we will not continue to undermine these histories, these important stories, and that we will continue to progress a path forward that respects the contributions of each of our communities and accepts us for who we are. So
Sure.
thank you very much.
Sure. Should start with your own party who
Thank
locked
you.
everybody up.
Thank you, Councilmember.
And I am the white devil.
Any other comments? Let me just say that we really do appreciate this presentation, Councilman, and the comments made by Mr. Lopez, Manning, and Rodriguez certainly hit home. And of course, we will never forget the live performance here in the Club City Council chambers. They got down.
They got down.
But it was a, the Suits Rise was a
They
sad
got
time in our history.
I don't know,
and
Alex.
we
I don't
are,
know.
Servicing it now to.
I
Really
mean, I
talk
assure you
about
there'll be
what the
5 or
impact was.
10, but we won't see
And
those,
so
probably.
who,
Most you don't see.
were there, those who were
95% of
impacted,
chases never make it to the
your
news.
comments are certainly well felt. We know
Just
that we
not
gotta
long
do a better
enough.
job. We know that this was not just against Latinos, but also the blacks and Filipinos and other people of color.
I'm saying, Terry.
Were literally targeted because of their clothing and the color of their skin. And we, I think, are all resolved that that will never happen again in our city. And so this is a very poignant reminder of what happened and what should have happened. It was a great story also in the article an article in the LA
Still in
Times.
SoCal. Thank you for a gifted
about the
tier
riot.
1 sub. Mean.
Welcome
To the family, courtesy of Still in
we want to
SoCal.
just never forget. And so, Councilman, we appreciate your bringing it up this morning. And to our guests, we do apologize, and we're glad you're here now. We are all in this together. Again, let's give it up.
Thank you very much,
for the
Mr.
Zoot
President.
Suit.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Que viva los pachucos!
Dude, relax, homie. Like, it's a
Thank
mic.
you.
It amplifies your voice when you just speak moderately through it. No need to ever scream into a mic. Okay? Especially when you got a fucking baloney sound man like that. Fuck. Should be cracking and pushing back. And you got headphone users like me. Blown the F out. Yeah.
All right, members, we're going to resume our meeting.
Resume?
Madam Clerk, would you
You ain't
please
started
file
it
the-
yet.
remove the
What do you
call-in
mean resume
information
it?
that was
You
also
can't resume
provided in
something
the
you haven't
agenda?
started yet.
Yes, sir. As indicated on the agenda,
we just been
members
honoring
of the public
motherfuckers and
wishing to offer
talking.
public comment
Wanna
should
call in, guys? Here we go.
669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6
For
to
the time
unmute.
being, Sippy.
Again, call 669-254-5252 and use
for the
meeting
foreseeable
ID number
future.
160-535-8466, then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak.
Best part is
When
these
it
people
your
actually
turn to
think
speak,
they're doing
an
great.
automated Zoom
That's
voice
the
will ask
best
you to
part.
press star 6
They all
to
feel like
unmute.
they're doing awesome. Good work. Pat each
as
other
our,
on the back.
as our guests move to the
We
to
got
the
more
aisle,
guests. Stop
We're going to take Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. President. To the members of the public calling in, when it is your turn to speak, please state
Dude,
which of
Mr.
the agenda
Pumpkinhead.
items you would like to speak on. You have 1
Bro,
minute
he got a
per item
wide
to speak,
head.
up to 3 minutes total,
That shit is
and
wide.
1 minute
Look at the
for general
glasses. I'm
public
telling you,
comment.
his glasses are bent
Speak
like
to
that.
the items before
Look at the
beginning
glass.
general public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal
It's
is
like
to
putting
get through
glasses
as many
on a
speakers as
pumpkin.
we can. If you are not speaking on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you
I hope Eric Previn calls in again and gives him shit again.
are the president, if you
Jim
do not
Eaton, thank you so
immediately
much, Jim
and
Eaton.
clearly get back on
Money
topic,
don't jiggle,
or
jiggle.
again,
It
if you
falls.
stray
I
off
like to see
topic,
you wiggle,
we
wiggle.
will forfeit the rest of your
Bubblehead.
speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker.
What's up, G?
The items that are open for public comment are 16, 22 through 27, and reconsideration of item number 17 from the previous city council meeting, clarifying that the homelessness emergency will terminate on July 9th. For members of the public calling in to speak,
Yeah, Air
when it
Force.
is your turn to speak,
I think he's
an
like a
automated
deputy
message
or
from
whatever.
Zoom will prompt you to press star 6
Assistant.
to unmute yourself. If you do not do so, council
'Cause
staff
Mole
will
was
prompt
there.
you once more.
5-0
If you do not
Fobbles there.
immediately unmute yourself when prompted by staff, you will forfeit your time and we will move on to the next speaker.
I oppress you.
Also, if you are listening to the council meeting on
What's up,
your
Jesus?
computer, channel
That's what I do.
35,
It's what
or
we
another
do.
device,
It's born and bred
please
in
turn
my
down the volume
blood.
on those devices immediately when it is your turn to speak. Because of feedback,
Let the hate out in your heart.
it will cause a lot of confusion if you continue to listen to your other devices. Finally, for our call-in speakers, please keep an ear to the phone so that you know when it is your turn to speak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Let's start with our first speaker in chambers.
Sky, thank you so much. for the
Candido,
bits.
Rosa, Colasa, A. Grebner,
It's like a safety announcer for a roller coaster.
Abari.
Bro, have you guys seen that fucking? He does YouTube shorts. He's like in Nashville. He did one of those. He's an operator of one of those like free fall things, and it's like 2-seater. He'll tell people like he's talking to them, being all nice, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, hold on a second, guys, we gotta get the strap. The strap's not on." And then all of a sudden he pushes it, and they're like, "Oh no!"
To speak on?
And he got him.
Speak on 24, 27, and public comment, please.
Okay,
Fucks
you
it
have
up.
2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you, sir. Item 24 is about more participation and encourage neighborhood councils to be part of city government. I have a suggestion. We have an open space next to the mayor's office. The senior docents used to be there, and those are basically teachers who would help people here in the city council. So if we could bring the neighborhood councils, all whatever there is, 99, into the city hall and allow each one of them to do presentations as far as what they're doing in their neighborhood council, that would be fantastic. The thing is, some councils are unbelievable. Others are barely surviving. So again, I hope we can do that. Let's see. Let's go on to 27, Juneteenth. You know, it's the great leader Abraham Lincoln said, "I think slavery is wrong, immorally and politically," and yet it went on for many, many years. It went on, and in some ways, it even goes on today. And we need to really focus on it, because let me tell you this: the one thing about the African American community, they can do anything. They can be successful in everything they try to achieve. They can, but because of the history of this country, they were denied, and a lot of people say, well, that was 30, 40, 50 years ago. No, it still lingers on today, and that's why I'm for reparation, because every time a white person was given an opportunity for financial success, and even some of us Latinos were, if you were light, if you were not a dark Latino, they were allowed. All right, let's go on to public comment. Now go on to public comment.
If you was a light one.
You may.
All right,
You was
got 1
lucky
minute,
if you
sir?
was light.
All right. Watching yesterday with the Zoot Suiters, let me share a story with you. My uncle, Baldy Huron, who was the younger brother at 50, was a Zoot Suiter, and he was stripped. But he wasn't stripped by strangers. He was stripped by his own older brother, Richard Huron, who was a Marine, and would not allow him to leave the house.
His own brother.
Going to the future, my uncle at 83 apologized to his little brother. He said, I don't understand. I didn't understand it. I did not understand it. All I wanted you to know is we have to be more dignified. We need to be better. And so as a Marine, he felt he was doing the right thing. So again, thank you for bringing that, Mr. DeLeon. It was beautiful. And to Ms. Dumont, I'm still waiting for your apology, Ms. Dumont. If you apologize, I will forgive you, and we can move forward and try to make City Council safer.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Emotional
Thank you.
damage.
Pay
Next
for
speaker, please.
reparations. I'm not paying for no goddamn reparations. None of these people were slaves. None of their parents were slaves. And I also want to know, if you want to do that shit, like I said, 4,000 slaves were
names,
all owned by
Musa
Democrats.
Moore,
These
Arnold
people right
Sachs,
here. Not one
Udo
Republican owned a
Uzar,
slave.
And Gina Amati.
Democrat Party should be
Morning,
paying them
Speaker.
if anybody
If you
should
could
be
please
paying
remind us of the
them.
name that you signed up
And not
under
from
and
my
the
money.
items you would like to speak
Under or
on.
over
22,
12.
25, and general comment.
Okay, you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
All right, so item 22 is rewards for snitches. You know, maybe it's just, you know, all around, just, you know, why are we giving money for people to, you know, give money to snitches? You know, the policing system needs to be abolished, the whole system, and giving money to, you know, snitches who snitch out people in the, snitch out people, it's just wrong. All right, 25 is legal representation for the Ethics Commission, because the Ethics Commission needs a lot of legal representation. It's the Ethics Committee, because the city's ethics are just awful. The ethics of the elected officials in the city. And we need, the Ethics Commission needs all the representation it can get. All right, general comment. It's absolutely shameful that you're letting KDL do presentations before this council. I don't really, I do want to make it clear to the people, other people, that we don't have anything against you really. What we're against is KDL. KDL is anti-black, anti-poor, anti-indigenous. KDL needs to go. He should have resigned like 8 months ago. It's absolutely ridiculous that we're still doing that. We're still in this whole thing. This should have been, you know, resolved months ago. You know, he should have resigned within around the same time Nuri did, which was a couple days after the LA Times article and the Knock LA article. So, yeah, we need to, KDO needs to go. All of you need to be doing something to get him to go. Yeah, someone forgot their phone over here, so if that was you, you have your phone over here, so just want to
Oh my God, what a mess that guy. 17 ums. Oh my God.
The only pussy he's ever touched was his mum's when he fell out of it.
Speaker, you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on?
For real though.
Your number one fan? No, I'm just kidding. Ace Rosa Culazo. Not enough Spanish people to appreciate that one. I signed up under all available items and public comment. Could you just please remind me the available items?
Of course. So the items that are open for public comment are number 16, 23 through 27, and the reconsideration of item number 17 from the previous council meeting that clarifies that the homelessness emergency will terminate on July 9th.
I just have a point of information real
14
quick.
ums.
It says on the
14.
agenda that 22 is included. Did that get forwarded or moved?
22 is open for public comment.
Okay.
Definitely
So
over.
let's make it
You
sure.
have 3 minutes
It
for
was
the
under
items
12.
and 1 minute for general public
Can you
comment.
restart my time, please? Can you restart my time? Thank you. Item number 22. Please stop using our state of poverty to do the work for you, offering like 50 grand rewards for information when you could have had officers do that job if you didn't fire them for not being vaccinated after paying for tests out of their own pocket. Item number 23. This is really rich coming from Heather Hutt and Curran Price that say nothing about the elderly black people they kicked out and sometimes arrested here in City Hall for speaking out against Kevin De Leon, I guess, permitted structural racism, or the robot dogs.
Remember, the party's changed.
Item number 24. Neighborhood councils provide disproportionate representation to owners, whether it be owning homeowners or business owners. I don't know too many business owners that don't own their own home. So if you look at the actual layout of NCs, getting the community involved doesn't involve street banners. It involves opening up more representation to renters. Item number 25. Why does the Ethics Commission need outside representation with our money? When we have something charges filed against us, we're not given 100 grand to fund our defense.
Damn straight.
Item number 26. That's great. 27. I don't have time to look up all that stuff, but obviously you should celebrate Juneteenth, even though it's kind of a false holiday because black people are still imprisoned and slavery and still exists. It's permitted under the Constitution as a punishment for a crime. Go figure. So Juneteenth is kind of like a humorous holiday in that respect because it's ironic. Because I don't know if California uses prison labor, but a lot of the states in the union do. So obviously, as it's sanctioned in the Constitution, slavery never ended because it says it's permittable as a punishment for a crime. I have 10 seconds.
I know they
think
used
it's
to in
really
Arizona.
gross, considering that snitch item, number 22, that you could have just used the cops that you fired for not being vaccinated to do that. General public comment.
Joe Arpaio.
It really hurts me as a Latin person to see my people shook and jive for their oppressors, especially somebody who was redistricting to disenfranchise them. And if you guys all hate that so much, why haven't we reversed the changes that came as a result of that meeting? So people really need to think about action speaking louder than words, Monica, wherever the fuck you are.
Right. She's out back smoking a joint, having a sandwich.
We the people, manifesting an existence without suffering, beyond that which human life already provides, unprovoked, declare that those currently at the helms of power are unfit to do so. To claim independence or even a parcel of land in the name of a separate nation would be death and disaster, so we shall not. Societies have never been their geography. They are the words and actions and live in the hearts and minds of the people. This is simply that. If you don't start doing what the fuck you're supposed to do, we will come up with our own system, and you're not going to be a part of it. And I really hope that you listen to the reasonable people that come here, because unreasonable people will be the ones you have to deal with.
I'm going to pause it for just a second. You notice how he said it was sad to see these people shuck and jive for their oppressors? Didn't I say that right before them about Stockholm Syndrome, how, they're sympathizing with their oppressor? Yeah. He was right on motherfucking point. Stockholm
Next speaker,
Syndrome.
please.
Good morning, Speaker. Please remind us of the name that you signed up under.
Yeah,
and the
that's
items
Mr.
you would like to
Fist,
speak on.
Sarah.
My
The
name
dude
is
is always up
AJ
with his
Hovind,
fist in the
and
back.
I signed
That's
up
him.
for agenda item 13.
He'll probably go back there. You'll see him.
So agenda item 13 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general public comment if you wish.
That would be fine.
So you have 1 minute.
Shuck and jive.
My name is AJ Hovind, and
Ron.
I'm with the California Immigrant Policy Center, one of over 100 organizations across sectors, including labor, faith communities, and other movement spaces that signed a letter in support of making LA a sanctuary city. I'm also an immigrant, my family moving to South LA in 1988. Here we found a community that welcomed us and made us their own. I've also lived through decades-long attempts within the state and across the nation to erode immigrant rights and have seen firsthand how less safe the community feels when increased policing enters, in any form, enters our neighborhoods. We believe that this measure will ensure all immigrant families families that already contribute to making LA such a wonderful place to live, remain safe and whole. Please
Is he wearing a
approve
Bernie
agenda
shirt?
Item number 13.
Oh, no, I
Thank
thought
you.
he was wearing a Bernie shirt.
Holy shit. Holy shit!
Good morning, Speaker.
Holy
Please
shit!
remind us of the name
Mr.
that you signed up
Sachs!
under and the items you would like to speak on.
Let's go!
Good morning, Arnold Sachs. I'm only going to speak on public comment and item number 26.
He was hiding,
You
homie.
have 1 minute for item number
Hiding like a
26 and
ninja.
1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, item 26 refers to medical transport services provided to Medi-Cal patients. So I'm wondering, is anybody in the legislation, was anybody in this august body been in the California state legislation or assembly? When did Medi-Cal become Medi-Cal? I thought it was always Medi-Cal. Now it's Medi-Cal. When did it change? When did the state of California change that program? Because now that it's Medi-Cal, nobody's eligible for that because nobody is covered by Medi-Cal. That's pretty stupid. That's one of those games that people play. It's right in front of you. And people say, oh, that's the same thing. It's not the same. When it was created, it was Medi-Cal. Now it's Medi-Cal. Any state legislatures here? No.
Okay. You have 1 minute for general public
Fucking
comment.
love him.
For the record, somebody said snitches get stitches. That was old John Walsh's line. What about equality? When does equality step into the picture? That was about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was a Supreme Court justice. I'd like to speak about the Planning Commission. When you go across the hall on the other side, if they have 10 items, you can speak for 2 minutes on each one of those items. It's the same building. Why can't you speak for 2 minutes on each item on this agenda? Who changed the rules? When was it changed? I hear people talk about the Brown Act. It's being violated. It went from 5 minutes down to 1 minute. What the hell's going on? Who changed everything? And what about the headboards? What about offering rewards? What the fuck is going on?
Fucking love him, dude. I fucking love him, dude.
Next speaker.
Oh, man, he's my fucking hero, bro.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the
Fucking
items
love
you
him.
would like to speak on.
Bruno, I'm speaking on item number 13 in general public comment.
I could hear him talk for
so
20
item
minutes,
number
bro.
13 is
Give him
not currently
20
open
minutes.
for
I can
public
listen to
comment.
that dude for
You can
20
speak to
minutes.
it
I
during
swear I
general public
could.
comment. So you have
Give
1
him
minute.
20.
Thank you. Good morning, council members. My name is Bruno, and I'm here with the California Immigrant Policy Center. We are one of the 100 organizations who have signed on a letter endorsing the sanctuary motion here in Los Angeles. I grew up in Los Angeles in District 6, and as a teenager in 2008, one of my parents was arrested and detained by ICE. One of my parents was separated from our family, their freedom and liberties taken from them while incarcerated in ICE detention, and held without an opportunity for bail for over a year. The conditions inside immigration detention are abhorrent. No access to nutritious food, no access to medical care, no access to legal counsel, and little to no access to family. With no lawyer by our side, one of my parents was deported to Mexico, a place they had not been since they were a child. Immigrants are an integral part of our communities and an essential part of Los Angeles since the city's inception. A robust sanctuary policy is
No,
a
Hoosier.
necessary step to creating a more safe place for all of Angelenos' families. I urge you to vote A on the sanctuary motion in order to keep families together, safe, and secure.
Yeah, I don't know where Mr. I mean, dude, he was hiding off to the side. See, and that's what I'm saying. You can't really rely on it sometimes. They might be in the back row or we can't see him or whatever. Hopefully Mr. Harlan's there today. I'd like to hear from Mr. Harlan. He hasn't been taking his meds lately.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Gina Amato speaking on item 13, the sanctuary motion.
Yes, Kent.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Gina Amato, and I direct the Immigrants' Rights Project at Public Counsel. We provide direct legal services to immigrants in detention, so we know firsthand the profound and devastating impact that the collusion between local governments and ICE has on immigrant families. Hundreds of thousands of undocumented Angelenos live in constant fear of being unjustly swept into ICE detention and deported. ICE regularly purchases and shares with local government entities inaccurate information about individuals, leading to detention and deportation. This can have a devastating impact on immigrant families, including persecution, torture, and death, fractured families, and long-lasting psychological harm. Public Counsel is committed to ending the inhumane and unjust detention practices that have ruptured families and communities throughout LA. Disentangling city resources from federal immigration enforcement is a key step toward this goal. Thank you.
No, I said Mr. Harlan, not Harmon.
Thank you.
Harlan.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Harlan,
Next
you
speaker,
know,
please.
crazy dude. He owns everything.
Good morning, Speaker. Please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Johnny G, General Public Comment.
Johnny
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Good morning, council members. I want to wish everyone here a happy and safe 2023 summer. I also want to congratulate all the young graduates, a hopeful future for them and their families. We've had some rough roads this year, but we persevered through our ups and downs. I think the road ahead has some hurdles, but we need to have faith in God and respect for one another. Once again, stay safe and enjoy this summer and break with friends and family. And please, let's be respectful to one another.
What a dork.
Okay, Josh, Behu, Nikki Nugent.
It's true, though. They're like, really? Could you imagine
Roberto
wasting your
Gomez,
time
Alicia
getting
Moore,
up,
and
dressing,
Angela
driving
Rivera.
across the city? It's going to take you 45 minutes to get there, park, to sit there for fucking 45 an hour just to
morning,
get there
Speaker.
to talk
Good
for 1 minute to say that?
Please remind us of the name that you signed up under
Could
and
you
the items
imagine?
you would like to speak on.
That's your
yes,
Friday.
please, my name is Alicia Moore, and I believe I signed under multiple items, but specifically, I'd like to speak on item number 27.
Okay, so you have, do you know how many items you signed up when you say multiple?
You know what? I'm not. No, I don't. But I
Excuse me,
could
excuse me,
use this
Speaker. Give us
opportunity.
your name again, please.
Alicia Moore.
Thank you.
Yes, you're
You
welcome.
may, you
So-
may proceed.
I'm going to give you 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Keep in mind when you're speaking on the items, please make sure that you're actually talking about the items that are
How
open.
come Mr. Sachs didn't get 4
You might
minutes?
have to veer me a little now and then, but thank you so much for the
I think
opportunity.
they gave Mr. Sachs
And I just
4
wanna
minutes.
Take this time to compel each and every one that is inclining their hearts and ears to this message, whether it be here, whether it be via television. This is a specific call for you to eradicate the hatred from your hearts when it comes to changing the policies and the procedures of your policing actions.
no, though.
Eradicate the hatred from your hearts when it comes to approving the homelessness that we encounter every single day. Eradicate the hatred and biasness from your hearts when it comes to approving the reparations that we did not give. They were ours from the beginning, and we have no reason or no right to come back to beg for what was ours from the start. So today we are here demanding of the people from the people, that you deliver on every promise that you set in place. You still have people walking the streets of South Central LA. You still have people walking the streets of Chicago, New York, that's looking for somewhere to lay their head. They looking for food to eat. They are looking for a way out continuously, while you honestly go home at night and you open the doors to your nice, beautiful homes. You lay down in your nice, comfy beds because of whatever you have received, although you did not earn. You have not earned it righteously. So let's start from the gate. Start from the gates of your heart.
That's right, Sal.
And this goes
All
from
three.
the government on down to the foster agencies. It goes from the top to the bottom. Nothing will not end. It will not stop until you eradicate the hatred, the biasness from your heart. Get in tune with your creator. You are not better. You are not superior. We are all in this together. And for whatever reason, you have allowed yourselves to think and believe that you have afforded this to you. No. How about the little fish in the big pond? We were here first.
Who's we?
We were here first. You cannot negate the fact that every action
Who's
that
we?
has come through
What you talking about?
this agency, this government agency, has been ill-intended towards us as black people.
You have 1 minute for general public comment.
African Americans, towards us as a people, individually and collectively. And today is a demand for action. Today is a demand for action of reparations. We're sleeping in our cars at night. We are looking for food and drinks out of trash cans. Who's responsible? Point the finger at yourselves. Point the finger at your ancestors, those who you are descendants of. You have no rights. You have no right to flip the script on us. We are not the savages. We are not the brutes. You come and you have inflicted harm and violence on everybody that you have saw fit to do so to. And we are still trying to breathe. We are still trying to recover from everything that you inflicted.
Every single city she mentioned, all Democrat cities. Everything,
ma'am. Thank you for your
all
comment.
three she mentioned, all Democrat cities. And she said they should blame themselves.
Thank
and
you,
they
Speaker.
should.
Your time has expired.
At least she understands who did it to her, who her oppressor is, but now she's begging her oppressor for funds. Let's see if the
Next
oppressor
speaker.
gives her any funds. Bet they don't. And I ask you this. She should realize that there was plenty of free blacks, and free blacks own slaves. So do the
Good
free
morning,
blacks
Speaker. If
give
you could
money for
please remind
reparations
us of-
too? I ask you that.
I'm sorry. Oh. Good morning. Would the woman in the black jacket please keep your voice down so that we can continue with the
Oh,
meeting?
he's
Thank
scared.
You. Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Nikki, general comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Hello, my name is Nikki Wing, and I'm
Capri
here
Sun,
as a
thank
law
you.
clerk with Public Counsel. Today, I am urging City Council members to protect immigrants against unjust and unsafe detention conditions and deportation. Los Angeles is safer when immigrants and their families feel secure, safe to engage with our local government, confident to step into leadership roles in their communities.
sorry,
and
Christopher, I couldn't
protected
see
from
what you wrote.
intrusive data collection. Our valuable local
It's too
resources
small.
should be used to build trust between local government and all communities, supporting immigrant families rather than tearing them apart. From Public Counsel's work, we see that currently many Angelenos who are detained and deported face persecution, torture, and death in their countries of origin. Children whose family members are detained or deported experience anxiety, depression, childhood traumas, and more. LA has the opportunity to take the lead in disentangling city resources from federal immigration enforcement. I call on City Council to approve Sanctuary Motion Item Number 13. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Begging for reparations. So then what? What do they give you? 10 grand, 20 grand? And what do you want?
Good
A
morning,
million?
Speaker. If you could
What are you
please
getting?
remind us of the name
Bet
that
they
you
give
signed
you $1
up
million
under and the
and you
items you would like to
squander it.
speak
And
on.
I'll see you in
My
3
name
years.
is Talia Inlander.
Asking
and I'd like
for
to speak
more.
on general public comment
Bet.
and item number 13.
Okay, so item number 13 is not currently open for public comment.
Get $1 million
You can
and buy a
speak to it during general
$900,000
public
house.
comment. So you have 1 minute.
Thank you. My name is Talia Inlander. I'm Deputy Director of the Center for Immigration Law and Policy at UCLA, where I teach our Immigrants' Rights Policy Clinic. This spring, our students did a deep dive into LA's existing protections for immigrants and how the proposed sanctuary motion would build on those to make LA a true sanctuary city. Here's what they learned. 1, neither Special Order 40 nor Executive Directive 20 have been codified into municipal law, meaning LA has
Otaku, I
no
agree.
actual sanctuary law on the books. This motion would change
Then you
that.
get nothing.
2, Special Order 40 has no explicit
Nothing.
protections against
Gravy
sharing
train
information
stops.
with ICE. And Executive Directive 20 does not address the rise in data brokers sharing municipal information with ICE. This motion would fill that gap. 3, Special Order 40 allows local law enforcement to detain people on the sole suspicion of an immigration violation for illegal reentry. This motion would stop that. LA has long called itself a sanctuary city. It's time to make good on that promise by enacting a strong ordinance that protects Angelenos from harmful entanglement with ICE. I urge a yes vote.
Good morning, Speaker. If- Please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Mi nombre es Alberto Gómez. Vengo a hacer comentario público en general.
Hello, sirs. My name is Alberto Gomez, and I will give a general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Tenía un minuto.
Buenos días, miembros del Consejo. Mi nombre es Alberto Gómez y vengo de parte de la organización de Chirla para abogar la importancia de la política del santuario.
Good morning, City Council. My name is Alberto Gomez. I'm here on behalf of Chirla to advocate the
Soy
importance of Sanctuary
orgullosamente
City.
vendedor ambulante, camino
Oh,
por
Mr.
todas las
Spindler's
ciudades
there in the
de Los
blue.
Ángeles y he visto
Holy
evolucionar
shit.
a lo largo
Mr.
de los
Spindler's in the house, bro.
Estoy
And
participando en el
broettes.
desarrollo de la hermosa ciudad
With a barrel of
que mi
coffee.
familia y yo llamamos nuestro hogar
I'm
hace
proudly,
17 años.
Sí, un momento para la traducción, señor. I'm proudly a street vendor of 4 years, working in Los Angeles, proudly advancing the city of Los Angeles with my family.
There he comes.
Sin embargo,
Look him, right
no se
there.
descarta el hecho de que nuestra comunidad de inmigrantes seguimos enfrentando ataques del sistema federal de migración.
Despite this,
It's like they were all back
it's been
smoking a
constant
joint or something.
attacks by the immigration federal agencies over the community, the immigrant community in Los Angeles.
A nivel local de Los Ángeles, tengo la oportunidad de que me protegen a mí y a 1.3 millones de inmigrantes de la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
So with this, 1.3 million immigrants in the city of Los Angeles can be protected with this ordinance.
Gracias los miembros del Consejo que nos respaldan y siguen en la lucha con nosotros.
So I would like to thank
Gracias.
City Council for backing us up and continuing the battle with us. Thanks for your support.
Okay, we'll call a few more
Gracias.
names. Angela, Romero, Cato, Haro.
You know what's funny
Chelsea
too,
Bell,
guys?
Jeff, Delshad, Ian Jimison, and Jaime
Spindler.
Rodriguez.
You know what's funny
Good
is
morning,
she
Speaker.
was over there asking
Remind us of
for
the name that you signed
reparations
up
from a
under and
state
the
that never
items you
had
would like to speak
slaves.
on.
Ian
California
Jameson, General Public
never
Comment.
had slaves.
You have 1 minute.
Never.
On Tuesday, LAFD firefighter Timothy Hampson was handed a 4-month suspension for refusal to comply with the vaccine mandate. Before him, R.J. Kilpatrick was terminated on February 8th, 2022. Nate Helton was terminated on June 9th, 2022. And Matt Mamone was terminated on May 4th, 2023. The following firefighters are due for boards of rights where they will likely be terminated: John Knox, Gabby Mendo, Chris Curtis, Morgan Bradley, Rick Tangay, Nick Collins, Aiden Waldrep, Ed Brockschmidt, Shane Nelson. Yesterday, Karen Bass's office announced that despite her being fully vaccinated and boosted, she had contracted COVID-19.
Good.
We are going to continue to come to these meetings held by you pharma fascists and demand an end to this ludicrous, unconstitutional, illegal, unscientific policy. End the fucking mandate and rehire R.J. Kilpatrick, Nate Helton, Matt Mamone, and all other city employees who have been fired for asserting their constitutional rights.
Fucking fascist. Tell him. Every one of these motherfuckers are the fascists. They're over here calling the other side the fascists, so they have to defend themselves. You want to see the fucking fascists? They're right here.
Speaker, you could
History
please
doesn't
remind us
lie,
of the
ladies
name
and
that you
gentlemen.
signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
And it's happening
name is Kelsey
today.
Bell.
Nothing
I'd
has
like to give general public
changed.
comment
Don't be a
regarding
fucking
item
puppet.
13.
Nothing's
You have 1 minute.
changed. Nothing.
I'm a removal defense attorney and an LA resident, and I urge you to vote yes on the sanctuary motion, item 13. Immigrants make LA one of the most beautiful and vibrant cities in the world. This motion is an opportunity for city officials like yourselves to actually stand by immigrant Angelenos so that they can live, work, and be safe in the city they call home. While immigration policy exists at a federal level, immigration enforcement exists at a local level. As a removal defense attorney, I have heard horror story after horror story of ICE agents doing whatever they want with no accountability for the harm they cause. LA should never participate with ICE's abhorrent practices, let alone fund them. One of the most meaningful ways for LA to take a stance in support of immigrant residents is to establish local policies like the sanctuary motion. Passing this motion has broad support, as evidenced in the letter that we circulated to council members that was signed by over 100 organizations. This motion starts the process for LA to know more about its entanglement with immigration enforcement and then to develop an ordinance that formally disentangles it from such a racist system. Vote yes and make LA a true sanctuary city.
Afro, man, that woman-beating moron. One-hit wonder. Yeah. Maybe he'll be better at
Morning,
politics
Speaker.
than he was
You
at
could please
music.
remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Jeffrey Delshad and just general public comment.
I'm sorry, what was the first one?
Jeffrey Delshad.
Delshad?
You have 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Delshad, my uncle, he was a mayor of Beverly Hills.
Oh.
Beverly Hills, you heard of it? You guys should take a load off, man. This is like this room. When you go outside of this city hall,
Name
the
drop.
reality in this room, I don't feel like it's the same city. I happen to like the city of LA. I like the way people dress. I like the way people talk. I like the way people think most of the time to some extent. But when I come in here, I just feel like, my God, this is like Elysium or something. Elysium. You seem to be very out of touch with the people. Kevin over there, hey Kevin, you would also go under that category of out of touch. People that don't help perhaps move on with the show, you're out of touch by association. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm done.
What a moron. Get out of here, dude. You might have known my uncle, the mayor of, Beverly Hills. You might have heard of it.
Rodriguez, Jonah,
What a
Jonah
fucking
Reyes, Leon Hankley,
What a fucking fool. Mr. Spindler.
Hermelinda
Mr.
Guatemala,
Mr. Spindler.
Mr. Johnson, and Paula Yanez.
Where's
Good
Mr.
morning,
Spindler?
Speaker. You could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Monsalva.
You didn't have one,
and
Debbie.
I would like to speak on a general comment.
Bro.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
You don't have a homeless problem in this city. You have a greed problem. Your greed problem is causing the homeless problem to exist. So we go behind the homeless problem and we see what's pushing it. There's an industrial complex, and complexes like them, organizations like them are pushing it. But not to worry. I have a solution for your greed and for your entertainment and for everything else. For all the money that you want and everything, I have a solution for the writer's strike. I have a solution for the homeless problem.
Get
Here
a
it
job.
is. We make the unexploitable exploitable. We take the homeless and we divide them into two separate categories: rise or die. We take two television studios.
Speaker, your time has expired.
What you talking about, Willis? Man, I don't know. This dude is wild. I've never seen him before, Jill. I like his pants, though. Have you seen his pants? Take a look at his pants. Look at his pants. Look at his pants. Look at his pants. It's like a rainbow tie-dye or something.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could
They're
please
like
remind
hammer
us of the name
pants.
that you signed up under and the
Look at him,
items
look at
you'd
him,
like
look at
to
him, look
speak
at
on.
Leon Hankey on number 17.
I'm gonna
and
hold on. Let me
general
zoom it in.
public comment.
Okay, so When you say item number 17, do you mean from the previous meeting, the reconsideration of the homelessness
Hold on, guys.
emergency?
Yes, the reconsideration of the homelessness emergency.
Okay, so you have
Hold on, guys.
1 minute for that item and 1 minute for general public comment. You may
I hate
begin.
when it gets stuck.
Yes, I just want to urge the council to find a way not to end the emergency order, because we all know that the crisis around homelessness, the emergency around
Pride pants?
homelessness, there's hardly been a dent in doing
Could be
anything
pride pants.
positive
Didn't think
about
about
that. So please find a way to continue the emergency powers, because those powers should be used to give housing wherever there is a vacant apartment, wherever there is a vacant hotel or motel room. Please make that housing. And as far as other things you can do to create permanent housing, please start using the power of eminent domain to
Wow.
take any unoccupied houses
Wow.
and housing units.
Nice,
and
Kami.
let's actually give people a solution.
Nice, Kami.
You have
I
general
hope
public
they
comment?
eminently domain your house and your
On
car
behalf
and
of the
everything your
Democratic
shit. You don't need
Socialists of
nothing.
America, with our 3,500 members in Los Angeles and our
fucking
much
commie.
broader voter base, we support the sanctuary motion as a necessary step to create a more inclusive, multiracial, and multicultural Los Angeles for immigrant workers and all Angelinos. 4.4 million immigrants reside in the Los Angeles metro area, totaling 33% of the population, and of them, half of them are potentially at risk of deportation if there are no genuine sanctuary policies in place as a safety net. And since this is Pride Month, I want to point out that nobody deserves a death sentence for being a member of the LGBT community, and for many immigrants, that is what would happen to them if they are deported. Thank you.
Oh, god damn. Get the fuck out of here, you commie piece of garbage.
Emotional damage.
Without a motherfucking doubt, that is your Democrat voter telling you what you need to do with your own property.
Please
You
remind us of the
fucking
name that
commie
you signed up
whore.
under
Get
and
the
the
fuck
items
out
you
of here,
would like
you
to speak on.
bitch. Disgusting old whore. The fuck out of here.
Sí, señora, sí puede dar una pausa.
Go put
después
your
de que
mask
pasen
on,
los
you
para la
fucking
traducción.
moron. And that's the one that survived the whole COVID, huh? That one couldn't die off? Fuck.
Go ahead, you can
Sí,
begin.
puede comenzar.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Ermelinda Guadarrama y yo vengo a hacer un comentario público.
Hi, good morning. My name is Edmelinda Guadarrama, and I've come to give a public comment.
Disgusting.
You have 1 minute.
Sí, señora.
Mr. Spindler's walking around. Look at
días,
him. Look at him. Look at
miembros
him.
del
He's in the
Consejo.
back.
Yes, good morning, Council.
Vengo de parte de la organización Chirla.
I'm here from the Chirla organization.
Making his way around, guys.
Mi familia
Hopefully.
y yo hemos vivido en Los Ángeles por 19 años.
So my family and I have been in Los Angeles for over 19 years.
Trabajo muy duro y honradamente en este
Oh, I
país.
get it, Tio. That's right. And I have my First Amendment too, Tio.
Por eso les pido que apoyen la ley
Right?
del
She has
santuario.
hers. I have
I've come here
mine.
to demand that
Difference
you
with difference between myself and hers. I'm not telling other people what to do with their property. That's a big difference. And then come take your fucking house, Tio. Then come talk to me.
hope without fear of being separated from our families.
Talk to me how you fucking
El
feel when they
injusto
come take your
sistema de
shit.
atención y
Because she
deportación
said
no
so.
debe ser
And
apoyado
people just
por
like her.
recursos locales de Los Ángeles.
This unfair system
And
of
you know that
deportation
fucking
and
cunt
immigrant
wouldn't allow that.
enforcement
If
should
that
not be
fucking cunt cared
upheld
about
or
fucking homelessness,
supported by the
why doesn't she
local
bring him back
governments
into her
in Los
house?
Recursos
Why doesn't she let him
deberían
pitch
ser
a tent
invertidos
out
para
back?
mantener a nuestras
Bet
familias
she don't.
The resources should be reinvested to keep
Hypocrite
families
ass
together.
Democrat
Yo pago mis
scumbag
impuestos
piece of
y
shit.
contribuyo a nuestra ciudad de Los Ángeles.
Because we
Fucking
pay taxes and
disgust me.
contribute
Those
to the
people
city of Los
disgust me.
Angeles.
Gracias
Like
a los
literally.
miembros del consejo
Like
que
it
nos
just
han
it look to me I
apoyado
see it like a pile
wanna
of
thank
shit
the
on the
council
lawn, like a
members that
hot
support
steaming
this.
pile of
y
shit.
nos siguen apoyando
That's what I see when I
And we'll
see
keep
these people.
supporting.
en nuestra lucha de ser tratados humanamente.
In our fight to be treated humanely.
Gracias.
Thank you so much.
That's right, Terry. It's disgusting.
Thank you.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us
Is
of
that
the name
Alice
that
from
you
the
signed
Brady
up under
Bunch?
and the items you would like to speak on.
Swear that's
My
her.
name is Paula Yanes, and I will be speaking on item 13. And I am
Where's
in
Sam?
Kevin De Leon's district, and I want to thank you for hearing all the organizations that are here on behalf of item number 13 for the city of Los Angeles to become a sanctuary city. We fought very hard for SB 34, and it was never codified, so we need to codify this and make it mandated so that city of LA can, can make this into law so that people can live without fear. Children will not be separated from their families. I just was with a child that was 5 years old, and she was experiencing a lot of trauma, stress, and she kept sighing her mom, and they're asylum seekers, and they just crossed the border. And we need to do something to protect families. I used to be a children's social worker, and it's our job and our duty and our responsibility to protect families.
Your
especially
job.
Children as
Your
well.
duty.
Keep them together, not separate them. We need money in our communities, but not for law enforcement,
need money?
so that they could, turn over families over to ICE. Like I said, we need to put more money in our community for programs, for our families, and for our children, and keep our families together. And we really need to codify this and make it law to protect our families. Thank you.
Starts within the
And,
home.
Joseph Rincon.
Why aren't the
Ruby Wu,
families together?
Sal.
Why aren't the
Sarmiento,
families together?
Shuming Cheer, Stacy Segura Bollinger.
Segura?
Samuel Gonzalez, Vanessa Estrella.
Man, you
Good morning,
fucking
Speaker.
up.
If
Where
you
is
could please
Spindler?
remind us of the name that you signed up under and the
quit
items you would like
playing.
to speak on.
Yeah, good morning, Joanna Reyes for general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
All right, good morning, council members. My name is Joanna Reyes. I'm the policy manager at Carecen, the Central American Resource Center, and I'm here to urge a yes vote on the sanctuary motion, item 13. Carecen has served our immigrant community here in Los Angeles for decades, and as we come close to celebrating our 40 years, we understand firsthand how
think
critical
something's gonna
it is
happen,
that local
Skywalker?
governments step up to disrupt the deportation pipeline and
Ain't
the
nothing happening to
separation
that
of
fucking
families.
dude. Oh, look!
Anti-immigrant legislation is passing and being implemented, and as we approach our next presidential election in the coming year, it's critical that the city of Los Angeles step up. States like Florida have shown us how much of an impact bad policies could have on local communities. They create fear and perpetuate trauma. A robust sanctuary policy in Los Angeles is necessary now. As other local jurisdictions have taken steps back, Los Angeles must take steps forward. By codifying Los Angeles as a sanctuary city, we will affirm the city's commitment to racial justice and to protecting and defending immigrants. Thank you.
Bro, I think Mr. Spindler's going to go off. You got to let him talk. He's had so much coffee. He's got a barrel. He's been walking around. He can't sit still. Big ass barrel of coffee in there. Man, they better let him talk. That's all I'm saying. That's bullshit. I don't want to hear him talk. Yeah,
Good morning,
bro,
Speaker.
waving.
If
Dog.
you
You
could
can't
please
sit
remind
still.
us
It's
of
all
the
that
name you signed up
caffeine.
under and the items you would like to speak on.
Sure. Salvador Sarmiento, the National Day Labor Organizing Network.
Like a
And which
pit bull.
items
Let
would
him
you like to
go.
speak on?
Item 13, the sanctuary motion, please.
Okay, so it's not currently open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general public comment. So you
Cali
have 1
moving
minute.
to Florida?
Cool. So
More to
I was
Texas,
just going
I
to mention
think.
this is an ongoing conversation between localities and the federal government, and it's been going on for about 20 years about this massive dragnet that's used
Bro,
for,
she's stretching.
to expand ICE's reach
Bro,
into
she's
communities,
stretching.
use local resources through a whole series
She's
of
getting ready.
ICE access programs, right? We remember 287G, secure communities, the criminal alien program, right? For a lot of time, LA has had a lot of words, not enough action. So this is an opportunity to put a little action into the conversation. An action to establish a model policy that deals with the dragnet, with the information sharing, and really specifically to send a message that's really important right now, that we celebrate sanctuary here, right? And that's a simple message, but in today's crazy mayhem of kind of fascist racism that we're dealing with, that's an important message that LA needs to send immediately, and that's that we celebrate sanctuary here. Thank you.
Jane Spindler, Joseph Rincon.
Oh,
Ruby
here she
Wu,
comes.
Shuming Cheer.
We're going to get a song, guys? What do you think? Yes or no on the song? I say yes. Even though De Leon's not there. He's not sitting there.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind
I
us
can
of the
see
name
on the
that you
other
signed up
screen
under
he's not
and the
there.
items you would like to speak on.
Not even in the room.
Stacey Segura-Bollinger. I'd like to speak on the reconsideration of the emergency order. as well as items 22, 23, 25, 27, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. So as far as the reconsideration of this emergency order goes, the language as is, I think you should let it expire because it is completely insufficient to do what needs to be done to put unhoused residents into housing. It mentions permits, bidding, and building things, which is great, and it can include that, but that's pretty meaningless without rent moratoriums, or rent hike moratoriums, eviction moratoriums, and an aggressive investigation on how capital incentive in the housing market has made housing unaffordable for people who work essential jobs in the city of Los Angeles. So I think you should let it expire and create one that actually does the things that we need to bring unhoused residents indoors and make housing affordable, because as it stands, it's not. And even the AMI is way beyond what most workers can afford in Los Angeles. Number two,
who's going to own these properties?
We need to offer marginalized citizens a bounty to turn in their neighbors. This pits people against each other, and the LAPD is the best funded organization in the city. We got about a $3 billion budget for the LAPD, so we shouldn't have to outsource their work.
It's true. I got you. She's
23
right about that.
is a joke. It's a race equity program, which is funny for this council to present, considering that y'all have reneged on your pledges to not do business with racist Kevin De Leon.
True.
And I've heard a lot of excuses. We can't hold this chamber hostage. We can't hold his district hostage. But there's a quote that I've been reading a lot lately. It says, if there's a Nazi at the table and 10 other people there are talking to him, you're at a table with 11 Nazis. We know that he's racist, and yet we're recognizing him to give presentations. Item 25. Why does an ethics commission need legal representation? When we think of ethics, do we think of lawyers? No offense to the attorney, but I don't understand why we need a lawyer in the ethics commission. And then the item regarding Juneteenth holiday. Again, that's some good virtue signaling, but it's quite meaningless when you all are continuing to conduct business with someone who is recorded saying anti-black and anti-indigenous things, epithets, racism. So for you to allow him to speak, recognize his motions, recognize him to do a presentation, it just shows that y'all really don't care, y'all weren't serious, and y'all lied to us when you said you weren't going to be conducting business as usual alongside him. So I'll go on to my general public comment. I just want to remind everyone.
No, that's Mr. Spindler. That's Goat Boy.
Riot was perpetrated by officers of the law and sailors, our military, who was on leave at the time. So I don't know where Kevin is, but this is for Kevin and this is for Paul.
Oh, yeah.
There's no realistic possibility that you can serve effectively. We must reiterate clearly that it's time for him to leave. We must do the hard work, repair, heal, and restore. Listen to us when we say we don't want him anymore. We need a resignation. Kevin is a racist man. A resignation. It's on you, Paul Krikorian. We need a resignation. That was Zoot Suit Riot, in case anyone didn't know. There you go. Fuck you, Kevin. Fuck you, Paul.
That shit's #1 on iTunes, and that shit slaps.
Mr. Spindler, Angela Mero.
Mr. Spindler, he got his name called. He's coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Jaime.
That shit slaps, bro. #1 on iTunes right now. Don't trip.
Ruby Woo.
And Ruby Woo.
Hi, Speaker. If you'd please remind us of the
Ruby
name you
Woo.
signed up under and what you want to speak on.
Sure, Shuming Chair for general public
Oh,
comment.
no, Shuming Chair. What are they putting on? Police?
Good morning, I'm here on behalf
LA
of the
Police
California
out?
Immigrant Policy Center as
They
one
can't
of the
even spell
many
it right,
people
look.
who are here today to ask the LA City Council to support the much-needed,
What are they doing?
long-overdue sanctuary motion.
What's going on here?
I'm going to ask everybody who's here today to
ICE
in support
out
the
of LA,
sanctuary motion
okay.
to stand up. You can see what we're asking for is to keep ICE out of LA.
They didn't have enough to spell it all.
A few of the 100+ organizations who support the sanctuary ordinance. I'm going to read off the names of a few of the groups on the list, which includes the Alliance for Community Transit, Altamed Medical Services, Bend the Arc Jewish Action, Inclusive Action for the City, National Lawyers Guild of LA, the LA Black Workers Center, Physicians for Social Responsibility, SCIU United Service Workers West, Unite Here Local 11, and the YMCA of Metropolitan LA. So we're all here to stand firm and to ask you to support the sanctuary motion and make sure that this city actually reflects the principles of racial justice and also stands up to defend immigrants and make sure that we show that we have the political will to provide sanctuary for all immigrants. Thank you.
Don't forget about Smoking Scan in the
Thank
list.
you.
Dang.
All right, so next speaker.
She forgot to shout us out. No Flying Foods. They might have settled the contract.
So if you please remind us of the name you signed up
They all
under
got
and
that
what you wanna speak
raise,
on.
$2.
Yes, my name is Xochitl Sanchez, and I'm here to
Tree
speak on
Fitty.
item 13, general public comment.
Okay, so 13 is not open as an item, but you can talk about it in general. So we'll set the clock for a minute, and the floor is yours.
Again, my name is Xochitl Sanchez. I'm the senior organizer
Nuh-uh.
of
Are they
Carecen,
really
Central
Party of
American Leisure
Six? I don't
Center in
believe
Los
you.
Angeles. For 6 years, I have worked in service of immigrant families, including unaccompanied minors, day laborers, queer and trans refugees, and community members with TPS, temporary protected status. On June 22nd, we will have the final hearing of the Ramos versus Mayorkas federal lawsuit that will be held in Seattle under the 9th District. This lawsuit was waged by TPS holders and the U.S. citizen children in order to fight the terminations of TPS for 6 countries: El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Haiti, Sudan, and Nepal. If this ruling goes bad, over 400,000 people will become undocumented and face deportation and family separation under the Biden administration. The failures of the federal government are obvious and clear. They are overwhelming. And now the burden falls on the local government to make sure we pass a sanctuary motion now. This is urgent and necessary. I urge you to vote yes on the sanctuary motion.
Yeah, we had no Mr. Herman. Andrew the Amazing, though, has some pretty amazing jorts. Oh, here we go. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen.
God damn, no puppet, man.
Which items did you sign up
It's
for
gonna be
today?
one of these bad 4-minute times, isn't it? All the fucking items and general fucking public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for items
Yeah.
16, 22 through 27. The
Okay.
reconsidered motion on the homeless declaration of
Yeah.
emergency, and then a minute for general. Please
Here
begin.
we go, Juneteenth. Bargaining units. Why all these bargaining units? Who are these bargaining units on 27?
Smoke.
Just the federal government. Joe Biden recognizes Juneteenth as a federal holiday. Just make it a federal holiday, a state holiday. Why the fuck can't you do that? You know? See, this is the problem. You know, are white people evil? You know, so I'm finishing up my new book. White people are dog shit.
Yes, I'm dog
So, you know, as a white person, I can tell you white people are dog shit. I can tell you that for a fact. I've been around them all my life. Look at that big law firm that was hired. All the fable there, you know, the big law firm, Brisbane, right? They released the emails. You see how they really talk behind your back? They hate you because you're gay, Fable. They hate you because you're black, Price. They hate you because you're a woman, Monica. They hate you because you're an Armenian, Paul. They fucking hate you.
Terry,
they
that
hate
settles that.
everybody here. That's the fucking problem. It's not the blacks. I mean, the black, but what the fuck did they do, right? They're over there, and then they get shipped the fuck over by the Spaniards. Then the English take them over and make them property. And then the Supreme Court in 1863 rules what? 1857 rules what? Oh, they're property.
The Dutch,
You can't
too.
take a slave to a free state. They're property. That's why we had a civil fucking war, right? And we're still having a civil war. That's all this bullshit is. Why don't you guys mention what the Supreme Court did yesterday, 5-4, all right? They decriminalized voting in the South yesterday. Let's give the Supreme Court a hand. I mean, my God. Black people are going to be able to vote in Alabama, Mississippi, right? And they're going to do it before June 19th. That's right, Paul Martin Krikorian, you racist, pink-skinned Nazi pig motherfucker. That's right. They're going to let them vote. And now Politico says the House could be flipped over to Democrat because of this shit, right?
Which item are you
That's
on,
what
Mr.
it is.
Spindler?
Number 27.
I'm on
Now let's get over
27.
to ICE. What the fuck is ICE doing in local affairs?
Okay, so that's general
You
public
get it,
comment.
you know.
Do you want to
can't
get general?
See, why can't I talk on that, right? Because you're doing what those white
We'll go to
slave
general.
owners did in them fucking 1600 and 1800, right?
Could be brother,
you
sister.
take me to general already. Because you're a fucking punk bitch, right? That's why you do that. You got Unisys over there, Fable, voting not to give your people a monument. She won't give you a monument because you're a gay white male. That's why you can't get a monument. You got to get 60 fucking day extension. Who's the two people that voted in favor of gay rights? KDL and Monica. And you think KDL's a racist? He's the one voting to protect the LGBTQ. Let's give him a hand. This is fucking great. That's what it's about. And he got surrounded, KDL, by 10 people and walked out of there with a scratch, right? That's what it is. How about it, Paul? You said that KDL can't work here. What the fuck happened, Paul? You pink-skinned bitch. What happened? Fuck you, Paul. You're a piece of shit.
Thank you very much.
You
Okay, this is the last call of Vanessa Estrella.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT.
Donald Harlan. Josh. Behan.
Holy shit. Oh, Mr. Harlan! Mr. Harlan comes out of nowhere!
Want to speak on today?
Out of nowhere!
Hi, I'm Donald Harlan. I'd like to speak on agenda items number
Everything.
19, 20, 21,
Everything.
22, 24, 26, and a general comment.
All of it. I want all of
So
it.
at least one of those
I want
is an
4
opening
minutes.
item.
I want
The
4
items
minutes.
that are open are 16 and 22.
Holy
through
shit, back to
27,
back, Jack.
Plus the reconsidered items. So
Back to back
you got
dingers.
3 minutes for those and then a minute for general. And you can, for example, talk about 21 during general. So please go ahead.
Okay, 22. I would say about agenda item number 22 and the Ethics Commission. That's so ridiculous. I mean, you guys have to do a risk assessment and then you have to do an ethics commission. But I didn't see anything about accountability or busting you guys for doing the wrong thing. You know, you don't need a risk assessment to figure out how to get out of trouble. You're already trying to claim immunity that you don't deserve for being in the city council. And then you need an ethics commission to tell you how to do your job without getting in trouble. I mean, why don't you just do your job right? Why don't they just throw you in jail when you don't do your job right? Instead, you don't need an ethics explanation. You need to be removed from the city council. I'm sick of you guys trying to figure out ways to wiggle out of it. I don't know if that was sponsored by your political party or some evil organization, but that needs to be stopped.
Yes.
Agenda item number 21, tax notes and interfund borrowing. There's not to be any tax notes issued by anybody in the city. There is not a single person in the city hall or in the city government, not even the mayor, that is authorized to issue tax notes. My name's Donald Harlan, and I'm directing you guys that's the case. Lawyers, do not let them issue tax notes for money that's not theirs. And they're not to be squiggling out of it by interfund borrowing and, stealing parking revenues. You know, how do you know who that parking revenue belongs to? I mean, does a parking lot really belong to the city? Who does a parking revenue belong to? You know, what about the people working in there and stuff, you know? That doesn't mean they're owed. I'm just saying they're owed special stuff. I'm just saying that you guys have some funny business here where you don't have any authorization to issue tax notes or spend money like you normally would if you weren't corrupt and trying to get away with a crime, making hostages and stuff. It's that you guys are trying to squirm out of it, committing other crimes. For example, Mr. Lee and his neighbor promotion of the neighborhood councils. Neighborhood councils don't develop the community. The city council doesn't develop the community. There's nobody in the city council with the authority to issue a building permit or tax note. Sorry.
I think
So
I
you
think
guys
we've
can-
slid off topic. Can we get back to
sorry.
the items, Mr. Harlan?
Sorry. I'm also concerned about you guys issuing bonds under agenda item number 20. Sorry. You know, I know that they need tax bond, they need to pay for the trash guys and all that stuff, but I'm really don't want you guys making slaves out of the trash workers. You know, I have a lot of unsecured trash bonds all over, and those. Can I get a general
Go to general, please, Mr. Harlan.
Okay. You know, it's so ridiculous. Everybody in the world can see what's going on here.
That's
what
right.
you guys have going on. You want to make hostages over the economy. You're like a bunch of animals in here. You know, really subhuman. I just really need to be paid. You know, it's like this. I get paid, and then I pay the city, and then the city pays you. You see the order of things? If you go out of order, they'll make slaves out of everybody. You have a bunch of power gamers in there trying to make bonds so they can sell people. They hold those contracts, those labor contracts, for decades after they expired and feed them the change out of their pockets. And then they go after them after they're retired, go after their families, and then they get the money out. After they have all these endorsements and sales and different things, they sell the people in there. That's why it's important.
Thanks, Mr. Harlan.
Dude's got a sweet helmet in the front row. I always see him walking around. The guy
Okay,
in
we're
the
going to
suit,
move to the
gray
phones
suit.
for public comment.
It's like a helmet, like Darth Vader's.
That is correct.
First caller, which items would you like to speak on? Caller with the last four
I know
digits,
JMJ has a
8015.
second hand.
Please
It's
press
tired.
*6 to unmute.
He came and talked for a bit. He didn't have his hand up then.
Hi, speaker with the digits.
Well, they went in on
8015.
fucking petty pink-faced dictator right there. The president.
Just a moment, please.
So
Just
it's
a moment.
really hard to hear
Just
you.
hold.
Can you speak
Just a
little
moment,
louder
please.
into
Hold
your
on a second.
microphone?
I'm taking a shit.
You're still soft, but yes. So which items did you want to speak on?
I'm on the toilet.
Actually, this is general public comment. if I
Okay,
can,
go ahead.
Sorry. Just fooling with so much paper. Okay,
It's Robot Dog, I think. I think it's Robot Dog trying to get her speech ready. Bro, what are you doing, girl? Let's go.
Speaker, we seem to be losing you. Are you still there?
okay, can you hear me?
Now
no,
we-
I'm here.
Okay, start over
I'm
again,
here.
please.
Okay, this is basically for general public comment. And it's, since I didn't have time for the other, this is in regard to the corrupt city council. Going to try again, this is in relationship to the robot dog.
I knew it was Robot Dog,
Public
girl.
does not want this LAPD Hyundai car company killer robot dog of oppression when you tried it.
It's
before.
already done, lady.
And it has now been voted on. And we, the people, still do not want the LAPD Hyundai car company killer robot dog. Yes, Hyundai is responsible, public, for this attempted oppression of minority communities. Yes, boycott Hyundai, the car company which owns Boston Dynamics, the maker of the LAPD killer robot dog oppression machine. Join us in our public boycott of Hyundai. Call
Thank you.
Hyundai car.
Don't worry about it, lady. The Kia boys are going to meet up with those robot dogs, and they're going to
Caller,
steal
which
them.
items would you like to speak on?
And they're going to have their own robot dogs rolling around the ghetto. I can see
Yes,
it.
number 3,
The hood's going to be filled
the
with...
amended 17, and general public comment.
Okay, so 3's not open as an item, but you can talk about it in general. So
Okay,
let's,
then
why don't
let
you
me speak to
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, so start with the
Kia
emergency
dogs?
declaration, then you can go on to general, where you can talk
It's
about
already
item
done.
3.
They're
So
going to do
please
it.
go ahead.
They'll figure it out.
Well, there'd be 2 items plus general.
Did you say 16 as well?
Caller?
Yes.
Okay, you're right. So 16 in the emergency declaration, then a minute for general. So please go ahead.
Sounds like 50 guns.
Okay, thank you for that. On 16, again, we go into a situation where
Sounds like him. That's not him.
we have this program going on with the mayor and the chief. It's difficult when any program comes in front of housing and we have a repeat system working for the city for so many years, it's easy to give you a piece of paper that will, you tell me what you want me to put on it to make your program right. Villaraigosa did that with the potholes. He wanted 1 million potholes, even though 1 million potholes were not reached, as so say as we would as workers. That's what we turned in. Each digit was no less than 1 foot, but yet every time we get a program announced through the city, we have to make it right and make it work. And then we show it to the public and say, yeah, we did it. And that's not the way this commission should be working at in the community. Let's go to 17. Again, to 17 is going to be on the same topic. The revolving door of the homeless people. Are we going to wait till the money runs out?
Yes.
As she declared almost $160 million
Then ask for more.
to get the people off the street, but yet they're just revolving doors. So you're going to check, yeah, we got one person in there. Yep, we got another person in there. But you're not saying you're putting them back on the street. That's the number should be focusing on before the money runs out, or it's too late to. You're going to get a report next week, 2 weeks from now, about the homing crisis, and then it's going to run out. Oh, we spent all this money, but everyone's back on the street? Motels back to where they were? That's an incredible thing to do, to go through so much money, give so much hope for the city to come out of this.
You can go to general.
And yet not do nothing with it. General public comment.
I mean, like them dropping
Again,
the
what
ball?
we're talking about, Monica brought up Florida. We should take a big stance. Governor Satan over there, you got 3 people that legislated and voted for that memoriam, or for that order, the directory of Satan, to get people out of there come July 1st. And now they're speaking in front of a religious congregation. Oh, well, this is why you should do every vote special, because when you all vote together at City Hall, it's the same thing. You're voting for things that you're going to repent on afterwards because you went and got your thing pushed through also. Everything should be individually voted on. 3 people are speaking in front of the the congregation over there, saying, hey,
Thank you.
Thank
you. Next speaker.
Thank you.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on? Caller with the last 4 digits, 3597. Please press *6 to unmute.
Hi, speaker with the digits 3597. If you're there, press *6 right away. No, I think we ought to move on then.
Caller? Oh, there he is. Went in back for a quickie.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller?
Hi, good morning. I'd like to do general public comment today, please.
Sure, absolutely. You have a minute. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Councilmember Rodriguez, how come you never responded by speaking out before the media in regards to the serial arsonist who went around setting cars on fire in the Sonsonga area? I just feel like you're lacking representation for our community, but you represent other communities more than you do for the Sonsonga community. And council members, can I ask for you guys to do me a big favor? Can you guys please open local council district offices where the community can come in and make a public comment through the podium to the city council? That's what I like to see, because not everyone in the city has transportation to make a long drive to come to City Hall to make a public comment. I understand there's public comment available by cell phone, but most people would like to have public comment.
That head took off, Sal.
Thank you, Speaker.
Favel came back in because he's Favel's
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Not replacement, but his right hand man or whatever.
I'd like to speak on general public comment.
Very good. You have a minute. Please begin.
Yeah, as far as the presentation earlier, no clear example or embodiment of right message, horrible messenger. De Leon, you have no business talking about those conflicts or that event, the Zoot Suit riots, because you represent everything that the Zoot Suits stood in opposition to. So it's very embarrassing that you would think you're the guy to do that. You're not that guy. So please resign. Or just fucking resign. In regards to, what's his face? The guy who keeps talking to our friend Dumont. You're an embarrassment. You're a grown-ass adult kissing ass to power and eating the whole boot, never mind licking it. And so, you know, recently you said you put up your home for houseless people. Why not do that? Why not do something actually beneficial to the community rather than kissing the ass of people in power? Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You fucking eating the whole boot. Yeah, he's had
Caller,
way
which items
too
would
much
you like to
coffee.
speak on?
He can't sit still.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Hi.
Waving at everybody.
The lady that says caller. Hey, caller. Hey, it's Capri Sun, and I like to discuss all available agenda items and
Capri
general
Sun.
public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for item 16.
Mr. Harlan.
22 through
Spindler.
27. And the reconsidered item regarding the declaration of emergency concerning homelessness, and then a minute of general. So we're going to set the clock. Please, for 3 minutes, please begin with those items and before going to general. And please begin.
Okay. All right, the floor is mine. Number 16, Economic and Community Development Committee submit the X motion that the legislative should push the 49th year for the Housing and Community Development Project that you consolidated. I mean, we can run through the receipts. I have it right here. Approximately $17 million was expended for this home-funded activity, like the construction of the 2 owner-occupied house, the 77 rental housing units, and the 8 rehabilitated units, homer buyer assistance, that you provided to the 28 low-income households. Basically, you spent $17 million on something that wasn't important, you know? You could have dealt with this at a different time or approached the matter in a different demeanor, rather than just trying to look good for the people. So the NHTF, the program that you expanded $5 million during the FY20, resulted in the construction of 14 new rental units that are affordable to very low-income households. These programs, like the ESG program, assisted 14,000 people. I mean, remember that one homeless third-party program that you invited to the council chambers? 77 people in 1 year. Hip, hip, fucking hooray. Number 17, reconsideration of item number 17. I'll review it for you. Basically, you're trying to push Juneteenth and June 19th as a holiday for non-represented employees. I believe the fact that you reconsider this item is fucking redonkulous. No employer should treat Juneteenth in the same manner as all other federal holidays. This is just people being lazy. Juneteenth is not a holiday. It's not a federal holiday, especially. Walmart is not going to be closed because some idiots wanted to sit on their ass, light up a grape soda flavored joint, and listen to Ice Cube and call it a holiday. We're not going to celebrate people asking for reparations who don't pay their rents. Bills, you deserve everything that comes to you. Item number 22, $50,000 reward for anyone to snitch. Basically, you do the cops a job, because we, and I'm pretending to be the city of LA right now, we, LA, don't care about our own employees, including the LAPD, when it comes to morals and common courtesy. We authorize the LAPD to submit any reimbursement request. Then the FY22 CPD microgrant program will increase any appropriations and any amount needed for the program. So you're taking extra from overtime and tax deductions, increasing the money as needed by using up overtime from the hardworking citizens of LA. Not only that, we make the cops pay for their own vaccine, and then when the cops don't want to pay out of their own pockets, that's a spit to your face, right? Item number 23, Hut and Price, collaborating to motion on Embrace LA program. Woo! You're subjecting an approval to allocate $389,000.
And you can go on to general.
Okay. So basically, the LA City Ethics Commission is contracting with Devaney and Peyton Morris and Cameron. They trust Devaney and Cameron a lot. Let me tell you something, De Leon, you whole ass bitch. You smell like shit. Proper Korean. You're always eating that stupid sandwich that your stupid wife prepares for you. Bob Bloomingfield, looking like you came from Springfield. Homer Simpson ass-looking motherfucker. Nithya Raman, you need to sit your 400-pound ass down. Katie Yaroslavsky, you're a pussy. Monica Rodriguez, you're a whole ass rider. No one likes you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Tony Stark, more like Tracy Park. John Lee, Doug Speed. Hugo Soto Martinez, more like Puto Hoto Margaritas. Tim Nick Oscar, Grouchy, Trash Can Oscar. Shout out Smoking Scan. Caprisa never fucking loses.
Okay, next speaker.
What now? Big time. What a-
For public comment.
Did he
Caller, which items would you
Caller?
like to speak
Caller, that would crush us.
I would like to speak on general.
Shout out to
comments.
Capri Sun.
Please go ahead.
Yes, I want to thank Los Angeles. Oh, my name is Julie Martinez, and I would like to thank Los Angeles Council members Hernandez, Reman, and Soto Martinez for introducing the Sanctuary City motion. It's extremely
Fucking
important
Capri.
that the city attorney draft a policy that will prevent city resources, property, and personnel from being used for any immigrant enforcement. This policy to end city entanglement with ICE is way long overdue. The city of Los Angeles was built on the labor and the backs of the immigrant community. The city of Los Angeles today is being held up by immigrant communities, their children, and their grandchildren. It is high time that we, the city of Los Angeles, no longer engage in any type of data sharing or federal immigration enforcement. 4.4 million immigrants reside in LA, in the metro area, totaling 33%.
Thank you.
I'm not famous, JMJ. All it is think of it as, when like Howard Stern did, a lot of
Caller,
people
which
would
items
call
would you like
in
to speak on?
and they'd do the Baba Booey things and then they'd send them. It's kind of that-ish.
Caller with the last 4 digits,
But even doper, because they say
8679.
smoking
Please
skin and
press
not
star
Baba
6 to
Booey.
unmute.
It's caller with the digit.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hi. Which items do you want to speak on?
Yes. My name is Norma Palacios, and I would like to speak on general public comment regarding agenda item number 10.
Okay, sure. Please, you have a minute. Go ahead.
On behalf of the Drug Policy Alliance, I am calling today in respectful opposition to agenda item number 10. This resolution is not necessary. Senate Bill 44 failed to pass the Senate Public Safety Committee twice, and is now moving forward. SB 44 is premised on the idea that a murder advisory will deter the sale of drugs. However, this runs counter to the evidence. 50 years of fighting the war on drugs have not been effective at decreasing drug use, drug prices, or the availability of drugs. Policies like SB 44 will not save lives. Instead, will subject people who need services for their substance use to longer criminal sentences. This policy will lead to stigma and push people in need of services away from life-saving strategies, resulting in more preventable overdose fatalities. And more troubling, authorizing murder or manslaughter prosecution in this manner will likely exacerbate existing racial disparities in the criminal legal system. I ask this council to look beyond punitive sentences for drug offenses that have no deterrent effect and instead
thank you.
prioritize public health.
Thanks, Speaker.
He's Howard Stern now. I'll watch Howard Stern.
Okay, that we're going to close the public comment at this time. We've had over an hour. Madam Clerk, what items can the council vote on at this time?
Well, guys, there's it for
Mr.
public
President,
comment.
Council may now vote on items 22 through 27, sir.
Okay, members, those items are now before us. Any comments? Please open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes. Mr. President, there's requests to have several items go forthwith, and those would be items 14,
Paul Stiegelmar.
15,
Paul, thank you so much.
21, and 27, sir.
Appreciate you, Paul.
Without objection, that will be the order. What items are next? I'm sorry, Mrs. Councilwoman
Also,
Rodriguez.
If we could add 26 forthwith.
26, thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, what items are now before us?
Next, council may vote on the reconsidered items, and that would be Council File 22-1545, and that's the amendment, motion Krikorian Price.
Okay, any comment on that, members? Is there a comment on Ms. De Leon?
Questions, Mr. President, if anyone's here to represent the mayor?
Who did you want to ask questions of?
My understanding that...
You guys can tweet him out. Oh, it's tweet. It's fucking handle right there.
Okay, is Mrs. Marquez in the house?
Doesn't matter anyway. Anything you say to him, he's probably going to block or not read or report you. Then you'll get thrown off like me. You love when I intimidate the caller?
Thank you. Good morning, one of the yes.
Imitate. I'm sorry, imitate. It was popping up.
Mr. President, I just have
like caller.
three
I mean, you mean just the
simple,
voice? You mean
questions. I think
caller?
a couple months ago, and I
Caller?
asked these questions yesterday when you had another representative from the CAO's office here to represent you. I think Mr. Gibson. But a couple of months ago, I requested data disaggregated by districts for placement at the LA Grand Hotel. And I and a lot of my constituents...
Fucking Hyundai Robot
downtown LA
Dogs in
would
the
like to
room
know
now. Shout out to
where the
Hyundai
400
Robot
plus
Dog.
people
Robot.
being placed at the Grand Hotel are coming from within the city or even the county of Los Angeles. And the question I have is, do you know how many folks who are experiencing homelessness right now that are being placed specifically at the LA Grand Hotel, where they're coming from specifically?
Telling you, fools are going to jack the robot dogs. They're going to have them in their backyards
Today
and shit.
I can't give you
playing
the
with their
specifics
other
who are
pit
there
bulls.
today, but I can tell you
I could see it.
that approximately 2/3 of those that are at the LA Grand today are from CD14.
2/3. So then we have 1/3 then that are not.
Approximately. Now, the hotel is not full. And we also have a number of people that are left over from the Garcetti administration who we've been
Yes,
placing
I
slowly.
remember that.
So we have that number, and then we have those that have been placed. About 2/3 are from CD14.
Do you know approximately how many folks are left over?
Because they
from the
back each other
Garcetti
rolling
administration?
at 52.
I don't want to.
Because if you say no, then when you try to pass something, they're going to say no for you.
Because I know that.
And that's what the guy was saying before, where you need to vote in private and not together.
Specifically, and other parts.
See what I mean?
Just
See what
recently
he meant?
come in from the west side.
Scratch
into
my
Echo
back, I
Park,
scratch
and then from
yours.
Echo Park transferred when they were
Together we
from Echo
grift.
Park Motel to the LA Grand Hotel. So
We gotta
because
keep
you
it
don't
going
have that
together.
data specifically, if you
Or it
can
doesn't work.
Give us that data. I'd appreciate that.
Got to remember, here there's no opposition. Everybody's all from the same place.
From LA County.
Okay?
So
if you know what I mean.
no one from Inside Safe.
So there's
is in
no
the place
opposition.
that
That's why
is
another
outside
reason why
of
you
the
have
city.
all yeses.
That's just
That's
not
fine.
Which is unhealthy also.
Last month, I requested data with regards to the hotels and motels that are in the respective council districts, and specifically where they are. You had stated clearly the last time that you were here that because of HIPAA, if I'm correct, specifically HIPAA laws, that you were not able to provide us specifically with those addresses. I think in the report back that we got, you have them, but they're the methodology geographically, they're SPA districts.
Get a net gun,
which
sis.
are county and city,
Done.
but not
Sitting there.
specific to council districts. So the question I have is, can you
Right?
give us
Net
the
gun.
number of hotels, motels that are part of the
Simple.
Inside Safe program? The
That's
number of
them, Tartar.
Within
My
the
shit's on
individual council
11.
districts.
It's full blast on my side. It's them and their piece of shit sound.
The last conversation you're referring to, someone else referred to HIPAA. I did not. But what I will say is that we are very sensitive to protecting the privacy of these residents. Right? They are coming in, but they are not asking that their addresses be made public to everyone so people know where they are or know how to find them. Right? That's their privacy right. We're protecting it. I have also heard, sir, from other members that they would like different types of reporting and not necessarily a report that lists everything out by council district. So I want to be respectful of the view of the whole or different members, what they've said to me. If if you would like to know,
Well, they're not from
what is in
Mexico,
CD14, I would be
Mr.
happy.
No, most of them.
To
Most
make
of them
that,
are Americans.
Possible. And if anyone else,
Lazy
any other
drug
member
addicts, a
would
lot of
like
them.
to know that,
Just don't wanna
let
do
our office
nothing.
know, and we will do that. But I have heard other views,
And they're too
on
far
the
gone
council
anyways. Nobody would hire
about
them to do
whether
anything.
They wanted a report like that.
Let me state the following, because in the light of transparency and bringing sunshine to this issue, I think it is important in the aggregate to know specifically where the hotels and motels of Inside Safe programs are geographically located. You just stated with regards to, and you made the point that you didn't state HIPAA, but privacy laws specifically, which we respect. But let me underscore the following as well too, because a lot of
there
council
he
members
is.
around this
Thank
horseshoe
you.
have
There's the way you
intimate
be,
knowledge,
old man.
engaging every single day with our unhoused neighbors. In fact, it could be argued that a lot of council members and their their staff specifically have much more experience and knowledge than many of the entities that currently exist or were created just recently as it comes to engaging and placing our unhoused neighbors, putting a roof over their head. So having that basic information, which is just very basic.
Fuck
it's not,
yeah.
I don't think it's national security.
Sir, please
classified.
understand, that's not my position. And it's not the
Mustache.
position of the mayor's office that it is anything
Mario.
in that
like
that. What I am saying
I was
is that
Mario
I have
for a minute.
received different
Mario.
views from
It's
folks
me, Mario.
on this
To
body
not share, specifically,
to not
share.
to not provide it by council district. If that is the will of this body, that is what we will do. But please, you're not hearing from me in that way.
That's incorrect.
Okay.
I'm not gonna place it on you then right now. So then, well, I'm hearing you correctly, we have some members here who do not want that data shared specifically
In
as it
that
relates to their
form.
district. In that form.
In that form.
Would it be redacted then when we get it? Or how would would it be just specific to individual council districts?
I think that's something I'm going to ask, since it's not our opinion, it is not our position, if perhaps this could be taken up at the at the Housing and Homelessness Committee to discuss the
Yes,
reporting, and we would
please.
be fine.
Okay.
What do you want? It's fine.
Last question is, my constituents are worried that our unhoused neighbors from other neighborhoods, and I know you answered the question partially, the first question I answered, are ending up in downtown Los Angeles.
Jason, I might have a
specifically.
couple. Nothing too
And
crazy.
I
All
think
the
that
good
one of
ones
the
I have,
unintended
they're getting
consequences
graded.
of that is that it
They'll be back in a month or
disincentivizes
so.
other areas to build housing, whether it's interim or permanent housing specifically. Is there a plan overall strategically?
I might have some,
to
insert cards. You know what I mean?
Decentralize and build housing, whether it's interim or permanent.
I sold a
as
lot
well
already. I
as
already
the
sold like
placement.
6 in the
You know,
last
and I
2
know
days.
That you're busy acquiring assets, which is a very good thing, and I acknowledge that 100%. In other areas that are not just in CD14. And the reason why I say this is because CD14 has the largest concentration of unhoused neighbors, not just in the city of LA, but we have more unhoused people in CD14 than the entire homeless populations of the city of Sacramento, the city of San Jose, the city of San Diego, Detroit, Baltimore, Miami, Washington, D.C., and Cleveland.
All you got to do is
So
go
those
into the store and
respective
search
cities,
it. Just
the
search.
unhoused population
Just put
in
De
the
La
aggregate,
Cruz. It'll
we have
come
a
up.
higher concentration in
If anything's
CD14.
in there, it'll come
so
up.
as you can imagine, as we, with my
What's up,
staff,
Papa?
we have housed more than a few thousand already to date.
That's it, Sailor Spirit.
It becomes more challenging, right? As we have folks coming in and folks coming in. And when the LA Grand Hotel, before it was recalibrated or reprogrammed to continue with Inside Safe, when we were about to shut it down and folks were going to be left out in the streets, that responsibility, the fiscal
is so weird,
responsibility,
dude.
I'm not sure about the legal
How did I
responsibility,
find
but
Stinks?
the political responsibility
From my friend,
was going to
Kristen?
fall on my shoulders as well as my staff.
There was a whole
on how
bunch
to
of
figure out
cats in
how
her
to
neighborhood.
place them when during that period, a lot
My-
of folks
all of
were
my
coming
friends
from other
took
parts
one.
of the city of LA as well.
So they all- everybody
that
has
may
like
be
a brother
it
or
may
a
be
sister
bigger
that
question. I
stinks.
understand that it may make more time, or perhaps, you know, a meeting. 'Cause I don't know if my chief of staff
Stinks is like
you
the
know, not
baby.
here, Jennifer, but I would really love for you to give her a call so that you guys can come together and
He's not
engage in
so-
a conversation, because
not
that
so
speaks
baby
to a
no more,
larger
but-
issue with regards to Inside Safe. Because ultimately, we all agree collectively that it's
Yeah, he's
about
got Eric
building.
Estrada hairdo.
If we don't build, whether it's interim,
Reminds me of like
permanent,
Eric
if we
Estrada.
don't
Boom, boom,
have
boom.
acquisitions,
Boom,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
then all of this is just temporary band-aids is what we're doing. And I know it's tough stuff, trust me. And I don't envy, I think you and Madam Mayor and the team have been rolling up their
Madam
sleeves
Mayor.
and have been exemplary nationwide in comparison with other
Mad Trees,
municipalities. and
Ellie De
being
La
very
Cruz
clear
is
in
a
tackling this
prospect
issue.
who
But
came
we're
up
getting
for
more
the Reds the
micro
other
now,
day,
and we're getting a little
and he
more
hit
in
a
the
fucking
details
home
right
run
now.
that
So
literally
do have a
landed in
more
the
macro
last
plan
row
as it
of the
relates to
stadium.
the interim housing as well, the
Like
acquisitions,
478
as well as
foot
permits. So
shot.
it's not just
I
concentrated.
mean, he's 6'5", he's
CD14,
big,
because that's how
young,
the city council
Dominican
body
kid.
and the mayor at the time
like 21,
made a legal
plays shortstop.
reason that they should have a containment.
They got a lot of young
in
talent. Matt
Skid Row,
McLean.
and that's how Skid Row was
Jonathan
created
India won
ultimately, which
Rookie
is
of the
the
Year
poorest
for them
neighborhood,
last
not
year.
just in the city of LA. I think Skid Row is probably
Reds
the
just
poorest neighborhood.
they don't
in the
know,
United
man. They
States
just don't
of
play
America.
well as a team. They don't have great pitching, and
For all
their
the
ownership
reasons
sucks.
that you state, the history that you've provided, yes, the housing that we are looking to acquire will be focused in all
Yeah, I
parts
know,
of
Ron.
the city
I heard
where
about that.
there
I think they
is
gave him some
not
bats
enough,
too.
Interim housing.
Picture and a bat,
So
signed bat.
we need at least 2,000, maybe 2,500 units of what we're calling permanent interim housing, because we
Everybody
lack,
wants their first home run.
any kind of a credible pipeline from an encampment to an interim space.
Which was a new term that I learned, because I didn't know what a permanent
Well,
interim was.
I think we've made it up.
Yeah.
Man, another 10 feet, that ball would have
But-
literally went out of the
But it
stadium.
is a way to understand the difference
Wild.
between permanent housing and just interim housing that can come and go. We need housing that is dedicated to create this pipeline. So that's why we're calling it permanent interim.
Phil, yeah,
because
that
we
well,
need to keep it.
You know, the
available.
problem with them though is again, they're just like Oakland. You know, they're bad so long. They get so many picks. After a while, some of the picks are going to be good, and then the picks become good players, and then what do? They trade them away for more picks.
This is all follow through
And
with
the
you.
cycle
I'll make sure
continues.
Jennifer, my
You
chief
know,
of
the
staff,
Reds
follows
haven't been a real
through with you
dominant
so we
team
can
since
get
the 90s.
information as completely
In the
as
90s
possible.
with
To your
Eric
point,
Davis,
I understand
Chris
the
Sabo,
sensitivities.
Paul
The folks
O'Neill,
don't want
Barry Larkin.
transparency with
They were a
regards to the
good
pricing, but
team.
I do want to thank and acknowledge
Formidable. You
Mr.
know, the
Corrin
Nasty
to
Boys,
give
Norm
a
Charlton,
time
Rob Dibble.
frame with regards to
You know,
the
Tom
emergency
Browning.
order, because
They had
it
a
is
good
needed,
squad.
because we just can't have the emergency order
And that was
in
way after the
perpetuity
fucking
without
big
no
red
checks and
hitting
balances,
machine.
without no sense
You
of
know,
accountability, more importantly,
Bench
without
and
the information
Morgan and
coming to
Rhodes.
this council body. It's
Oh.
important that we have that
It's just a
information
different
so
era
we can
now.
truly
Shots
collaborate
gone,
and
you know, and they
cooperate,
got a new ownership and they
because
suck.
It's just a, you know,
Really no
unilateral
different than Oakland.
operation with a blank check, and I know that the
Twins,
chair,
too.
Mr. Bloomfield, had very serious conniptions with regards to that process, and you landed the plane very elegantly. You know, I will recognize that right there, and how we can move forward together. But it's really important. The data sharing is absolutely critical. So
Yeah,
we look at
Justin,
the
it's like
data,
they're,
and then
you
we
know,
can make
a
those
pilfer team.
changes
Everybody just
strategically,
pilfers from them.
as
All
well
these
as
great
tactically,
players.
so we can collaborate.
Matt
and
Olson,
meet our
Sean
overall
Murphy just
goals,
went to the
which is to get
Braves,
as many
right?
folks off the street sooner.
Not to
rather
say they
than
don't get
later.
good
So I really
picks. That
appreciate
kid,
the
Shea,
presence.
Shea Langoliers,
As you
he's a
know,
good player.
All acquisitions
He'll probably be the
are
next one to come up and be really big. I mean, he's playing now,
You
but
should-
he'll be end
it
up
would-
being
for
good
everyone
and
to
then
know that
trade it
anything
away.
that we are considering as we map and understand if it makes sense to purchase, we are speaking with the members of the city council where
Both
these
Centrals are trash.
properties are
ALN,
being
I know.
considered. So there's already ongoing
Yeah,
discussion
Cardinals are
about the different
struggling.
possibilities.
Cubs,
And as we
they're
go through the
struggling, it's
process,
true.
some will stay
Brewers,
in and some will fall out.
yeah, they're
so there will
rough
be many
right now.
discussions that they all won't go forward.
Yeah, I can
But-
agree.
That is true.
And
That is true.
uh,
Okay,
what
thank you.
you
I really
call it,
appreciate
um,
it. Gracias.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Marquez, I'm sorry, could you just clarify, I wasn't clear on the response with respect to the locations of where people are being placed, and because I'm trying to understand. You're saying you got instruction from council members specifically that said that they didn't want to have the data disclosed of where
I agree.
people were being placed?
Red Sox
Is that
suck.
accurate?
Not instruction, only you all give us
they haven't been
instruction
playing too well.
when you all do motions and you vote and you do that. So
Right.
not instructions.
Okay.
I have received
Everybody goes through slumps. The Dodgers have been playing
concerns
pretty rough.
and opinions
Gave up a
about
couple
how
to the
the
Reds they shouldn't
information
have. They were
is
up.
made public.
One of them games they were up by
and
4 or 5 runs.
There are some districts
They
that
blew
have
a
more
4 or 5
hotels
run
than others,
game
and there are some
lost.
sensitivities that have been shared with us.
Right.
There is absolutely
Beanie?
no interest on the behalf of the mayor's office, myself personally or the mayor, to withhold anything. I have just received different opinions.
Okay.
And so if it is decided through the committee process, and it comes through that you want information shared in a certain way, and that's what we will do.
Right.
But I'm just trying to be respectful
No, I
of the
understand. It's
different
just-
things
I-
that
I'm
council
just-
members have said.
I'm perplexed by it only because when it
That's
came to
true,
road
Callie
maps,
girl.
when it comes to all of the processes and securing
So
properties
who's paying
and
for all
when
these
we're
houses?
placing individuals and somehow
Well, they're
the
just going to
Twitter
take
sphere was
everybody
able to
else's
get
house
it.
and give it
I'm
to them.
just
Eminent
interested in
domain. We heard it
understanding
from the
what
other lady.
what the instructions
I used
are
that
being
term loosely
provided,
earlier.
and if everybody is, there's continued conversation, and the whole reason for Inside Safe and to have people talk about having a single process, that we can't have 15 different strategies, and I mean, that's what at least is talked about.
Yes.
So I'm just curious is that if the information is only being shared, depending upon which council district wants to have it public or not, it is not in alignment with what is espoused. And so I'm just curious, because again, there's different methods of drawing on this information and ascertaining where people are being placed. And we have very publicly, whether it was through Project Room Key, Project Home Key, have been very communicative about, okay, these are the locations where placements are. It doesn't jeopardize any HIPAA or privacy rules because we don't know who in fact is being placed specifically. But we know where these
Sal, you don't think I
locations
should
are.
get a
And so
pair
that's why
like
I
that
was
for
just- I
myself?
just
Some
wanted to get
big-ass
better
baller
clarity with
giraffe
your
glasses?
response as to, because I don't
What
believe
is that
there
print?
were any,
Giraffe? What is that?
explicit instructions that were provided as a policy directive from this council that I can recall. Okay, so I just wanted to
Roseanne?
kind of get a better understanding of what
Glasses are whack.
what the reference is.
There are no instructions. I've just received opinions.
Got it.
Right, and so
Well,
I'm
there's
hoping
plenty here,
that-
so that's why I was just curious as to
Yeah,
figuring
I'm just trying
out
to
if
be,
there-
I'm
called
trying
dead
really to be
tortoise.
respectful
I got
of
it.
what others tell me, and I'm hoping that through the committee process.
Glasses
Okay.
with her hair
No,
colored.
that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, we look forward to the opinions being surfaced in the committee so that we can have a complete discussion and understanding of status. And I know that you and the mayor's office are willing to provide all information that's available. And so, members, let me just invite you also to contact Ms. Marquez directly and or through the committee process for any specific questions you may have. Are there any questions we have at this time? Okay, Ms. Marquez, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Any other discussion on this
Jesus,
item?
man.
Okay, seeing none, let's open the roll.
Let's close the
roll.
roll.
Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes. Mr. President, there's a request to send this matter
Mr.
forthwith,
President.
please.
Without objection, that will be the order.
Thank you, sir.
What's the next item before us at this time?
Next would be item 16 as amended.
Okay, that item is now before us, members. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes. Mr. President, there is a request to send item 16 forthwith, sir.
Without objection, that will be the order. What's the next item before us, Madam Clerk?
The last item is item 13, and that was called special by Council Members Hernandez and Soto Martinez for comments, sir.
Okay. Councilman,
Hey.
Councilman Rahman?
I wanted to rise today to enthusiastically encourage a yes vote on this item and thank all of the advocates lawyers and organizations that showed up today. This motion grew out of an effort from their education and their work over many years that was shared with our office and our staff.
Is that Flying Foods?
From many people in Los Angeles who have been advocating for this city to become an official sanctuary city for many years. This is a long overdue process. The city of Los Angeles is home to millions of immigrants, and a majority of school children in LA have at least one immigrant parent. And I personally, I believe I am the only immigrant on the body right now. I immigrated to this country when I was 6 years old. Yet a significant number of residents here in Los Angeles live in fear of being apprehended, detained, and deported by federal immigration authorities. In 2019, the city took its first steps to formally protect the community in the wake of a presidential administration that actively sought to instill fear in those who came to this country to seek a better life. The result was an executive directive that offers protection but lacks the permanence of a city law, and that is what we're doing today, proposing an official ordinance to codify protections that already existed as executive directive instructions to the city to legally prevent city resources, property, or personnel from being utilized for federal immigration enforcement or to cooperate with immigration authorities in the execution of their duties connected to immigration enforcement. We can only hope that the future brings progress and will expand the rights of immigrant communities at all levels of government. But this work and this motion was actually put in place before a new mayoral administration comes in. And as we are looking forward to a new presidential election coming at the national level, we need to ensure that these changes in administration don't result in changes in the rights that people have in our city. We should not be depending on executive actions that can be overturned by a future mayor or a police chief. These are fundamental protections that in this city should be enshrined in our laws. I want to thank the leadership of council members Hernandez and Soto Martinez for partnering with me on this motion. It was an honor to work on it, and particularly to all of those in the community who shared their experiences and knowledge on this motion. I'm really honored, and I feel very privileged to be voting on this today, and thank you to all of you for your leadership on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Rahman.
See, now they all listen when they talk to each other. They listen.
With you and
not to you.
Hernandez,
not to the people that put them there.
On this motion. As we know that in the city of Los Angeles, 1 out of every 10 people are undocumented in our wonderful city. And 1 out of every 3 people are immigrants from all parts of the world. And so, and if you look at what's happened in the last few years, especially coming out of Washington and out of Florida and Texas, this rhetoric, this hateful rhetoric, is meant to build distrust between the immigrant community and government. Issues of public charge, what they can do, what they cannot do. And so I think to me what this means is a clear message to the community that we're not like them, that the city should be looked at as an entity that you can trust, that you can come to, that you can look as to help you and help you thrive. And so that's what this means to me. As was mentioned by Councilmember Rahman, although we do have an executive directive from the mayor, it is not in law, and I think we should have it in law. We should make it permanent, because we don't know what can happen 8-10 years from now, and so I think that'll be a good message we can send. And especially as we hear just what's happening from some governors in our country, the rhetoric, and it's starting to seep into Los Angeles. I never thought that would happen again. That it's here, it's coming here, and so I think more than anything, we gotta fight hard. We gotta push hard. We have to act in that at the level of protest and righteous indignation. And I think this is one good step, and we got to continue fighting. So I also urge an aye vote from the rest of this body. Thank you.
All right, members, any other discussion on this item? Seeing none, let's open the roll. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. De Leon.
Man, how many times are you going to speak today? Like 3 times already?
Ms. Rahman.
It's the 3rd time we had to hear him.
as well as
Fucking
Mr.
A.
Price and Eunices Hernandez for your hard work. I know a lot of folks who are in the audience
let
here
somebody
today
else
bear
talk,
the
bro.
scars when we moved forward Senate Bill 54 and made California a sanctuary state. Trust me, during a Trump administration, and when we were sued by then U.S. Attorney General of the Department of Justice, Jeffrey Sessions, if California is a sanctuary state already, you know, it's by time that a city that is more than 50% Latino should be a sanctuary state as well too. It's a long time coming. In fact, you know, there should be a little embarrassment that's taken us this long to do this. I'm really glad that by making California a sanctuary state and dealing with the issue that is most pressing, law enforcement collusion, specifically with ICE authorities at the LA County Jail or other county jails, that now we've created that firewall. So in getting the report back from the city attorney's office as it relates to data shared or not being shared with the federal authorities is one, you know, step forward to ultimately when we truly make this a sanctuary city. And I just want to thank you and the incredible, you know, advocates and activists who are here today who have been in the trenches for so long to truly make this the city that immigrants deserve, undocumented families, you know, wherever you may come from all over the world. So thank you, Ms. Rahman, as well as Mr. Soto Martinez and Ms. Eunices Hernandez, as well as Council President Curran Price for moving this forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Get out of here,
Councilmember
man.
Hernandez.
Jeez Louise.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to start off by thanking the community for allowing us and for working with us to be the conduits to make this policy permanent.
What did I miss?
We wouldn't be here without you all. Colleagues, thank you so much for
I was
getting
asleep.
together
What
to
happened?
put this motion together and getting this over the finish line. This represents a message to our immigrant communities that you are important to us. We care about you. We know that you represent the nervous system of this city, the heart of this city, and we got your back. So I urge our colleagues, please vote yes on this. Thank you.
Okay, members, any other comments? Seeing none, let's open the roll.
Close the
Close the roll and
All
tabulate the
yeses.
vote on this item.
12 ayes.
12 ayes. Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. KDL's a
Madam Clerk, what's the next item before us?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Okay, those items are posted and referred.
The desk is clear, sir.
Thank you. Members, we have any announcements today? Councilwoman Yaroslavsky.
Let's adjourn.
We're going to start E&E half an
Oh,
hour late, 1:30 today.
Okay.
Get out of here. Gives a shit. You and your dad.
Soto Martinez.
Mr. Ban.
Thank you so much, Council President. I just want to make a quick announcement that we were having the Pride Parade this Sunday in Hollywood. As many folks probably don't know, but the original Pride Parade was in Hollywood, 1970.
Sorry, Draco.
Right there on
sorry,
McFadden and Hollywood
My
Boulevard.
condolences
We're
to you
bringing it
and
back
your
this
fam,
year once
bud.
again.
Stay strong.
There's also going to be a Pride Village starting at
Come hang with
12
us.
p.m. Right by the Amoeba Records. But most importantly, there'll also be concerts today and tomorrow here at Gloria Molina Grand Park. Megan Thee Stallion is performing tonight, and tomorrow's Mariah Carey. So I hope folks, come out and not only celebrate, but also remember that the roots of Pride was about activism. It was about fighting. It was about standing together, building community. And so we bring that spirit back, especially in this time when we see a lot of hateful rhetoric and actions here in our own backyard. So hope folks come out, celebrate, and have a good time, and hope to see you out there.
Where will the concert be? Councilman Soto. Councilman, where will the concert be? Where? Where will the concert be?
Oh, the concert is here at Gloria Molina Grand Park.
Right here.
That's where.
And it's free.
Not free. You gotta get your tickets.
And it's free.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Is that free?
It's at LA Historic Park in CD1.
It's not free.
It's in LA Historic Park.
It's free. It's not free.
Yeah, LA Historic Park in CD1.
All right.
But I'll be there, so I'll see you there.
Historic Park and CD1. Thank you. Any other announcements, members? Let's stand for adjourning motions.
Fucking dude, he had too much coffee today, dude.
Any
Mr.
motions to
Spiller
my
can't
left?
stand still. He just can't. He's got to move his hands
To my
every
right.
3 seconds. He's like a tweaker right now, and they're all.
Okay, members, well, let's go out and make it a great day for the city of LA. Thank you.
Oh, I ain't honoring nobody. Should have honored Mr. Spindler for having such a great speech. And I guess that's it, guys. I guess that's. I gotta say, guys, it was definitely better than yesterday's, right? Wouldn't you agree that it was a pretty good one? I would say. I mean, fuck, we got a lot of the usual suspects. In fact, we got everybody but Mr. Herman. I don't know where Mr. Herman's at. I haven't seen him in a few days, but yeah, it's pretty good. Jeremy's live, sweet. You guys go enjoy Jeremy live. I got stuff to do. I got to get ready for the show tonight. I have eBay to pack and all kinds of stuff to do. But I appreciate all of what you guys do for me and hanging out together and all the donos, the likes, the love, and the camaraderie, and just the all around fun times, the laughs. So I appreciate you. I'll be on live tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hopefully you can join us tonight. Other than that, I guess that's it. So on behalf of the lazy person behind me, I know you know who that person is because it's the only one who's lazy, doesn't do anything here. Him and myself, we're out of here. Go enjoy AXN News live. All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Enjoy your day.